Good evening and welcome to the historic Tomato Bowl for tonight's home opener between the Henderson Lions and your Jacksonville Fighting Indians. Thank you for joining us tonight on JISD Live. I'm Ryan Travis alongside Matt Montgomery and Todd Travis. Welcome to our countdown to kickoff. And Matt, it's great to be back in the Tomato Bowl after a big win on the road last Friday.
No doubt. Of course, 3 home games in a row, and it's going to feel good to play those 3 games. 3 pretty good opponents coming into Tomato Bowl for the next 3 weeks, and one of those is a district ball game. But, no doubt last week, Ryan, breaking that losing streak and getting that win against Brownsboro, which is kind of ironic because the last time Jacksonville won a game was against these Henderson Lions who they faced tonight in the finale in 2022. But it was just a great team win last week. Fighting Indians played great offensively. Another game over 300 yards of offense. But to me, the key to the game last week was no turnovers. That first week against Center, 5 turnovers. What do you expect? And that's what turned that game to Center's favor. And then last week, the Fighting Indians cleaned up all those mistakes, controlled the football, and actually got a turnover on a kickoff. So they were +1 last week. So big win by Jacksonville, 35-7 over Brownsboro.
Yeah, and I think turnovers is going to be a big key to tonight's game as well. And it'd be nice to see some Jacksonville passing game get involved too. We've been real run-heavy the first 2 weeks. I think Dede had over 200 yards rushing last week, which was awesome. I can't remember the last time we had a 200-yard rusher as a running back. We expect to see a big game from him tonight. Searles will be involved as well. And hopefully we can see Trent Clater, open it up in the passing game and really find some guys and get some big chunk yardage tonight.
So I looked into the archives, and the last 200-yard rushing running back that Jacksonville had was 2006 Carmen Boyd Anderson here at Tomato Bowl.
Wow. Jacksonville
beat Marshall 35-31, and he had 235. But Jacksonville did have a 200-yard rusher, but it wasn't a running back. It was Cam High in 2016. He went over 200 yards several times in his career. So, I agree. I think it's really key tonight to continue to run the football. This is a Henderson team that has scored 45 points the first game. Last week they lost by 45-41 to a really good Liberty Ilo team. And Henderson can run the football, too. They have their version of Dede Mares, too, Justin Starling. Justin has 50 carries, 348 yards. Dede's last week, 202. He has 313 yards. And, the Starling kid for Henderson has already scored 7 touchdowns in 2 ball games. And not only that, but they can throw the football. Quarterback Vince Howard, the junior, he's thrown for 380 yards in the first 2 ball games. So pass defense has been something that Jacksonville has struggled with, particularly that first ball game. Improved a lot last week. They're going to be tested tonight.
It will be a challenge tonight.
He can throw the football.
It is. And, I think Jacksonville last week did a really good job of not allowing that deep ball to beat them. And, maybe a little different situation here tonight was with what did you say the quarterback's name was?
Vince Howard.
Vince Howard.
Yeah.
So we may see some deep balls thrown tonight. Hopefully Jacksonville has kind of found a groove on defense to try to beat that deep ball.
Yeah.
It was a problem week 1, wasn't a problem last week. Hopefully it's not a problem again tonight.
Well, I asked defensive coordinator Ben Hoffmeyer if that was the strategy because, I don't know if you could tell, but in the first quarter and part of the second quarter, I was getting a little frustrated. They kept throwing the ball underneath. Brownsboro did. Jacksonville covered it well. They made the tackle, but they were getting 8, 9, 10 yards, and I asked D.C. Hoffmeyer about it, and he said that was the plan. The plan was don't get beat deep, let them have underneath. Jacksonville had more athletes than Brownsboro, so they felt like they could run them down, and they did. So it didn't hurt them.
And make the play.
Right. It was a great strategy. And so you saw a lot of cover 2 and guys backing off instead of the cover 3 cloud where they're up tight trying to press them at the line. I think that's the strategy you'll see Jacksonville do tonight because Henderson has the kind of guys that they're like center. They can go deep.
And we had a few opportunities last week with some of those deep balls where the defenders got their hands on it. We just didn't quite make the interception.
Yeah, so that's frustrating.
If we can, whether it's a fumble on a run or an interception, any turnover would help us. And so maybe we can get one of those tonight too. So.
And Ryan, to your point a minute ago about can Jacksonville throw the football, of course, Trent Clater, the sophomore, this will be his 3rd varsity start. You go from playing freshman football to varsity football, that's a big jump. It's faster. You're playing with men now, basically. And I saw a lot of improvement from the scrimmage to the center game and more last week. He's had some drops, too, now. And he has put the ball on the money. He's had a touchdown pass dropped. the confidence level has just skyrocketed for Trent in the first 2 ball games. But I agree that you need to see some progress tonight. You're in week 3, and you got to see the passing game, But, hey, if you can run for 300 yards like you've done the last couple of games, that'd be great too.
It's not as critical,
Yeah.
It's been a really good game last week on the ground. Hopefully we can find some passing game to kind of complement that and just not have them key so much in on Dede or Searles in the backfield. I think you made a good point. We've seen Trent grow in confidence each week, and you can see it when you're watching the game. He seems more composed, more poised back in the pocket, and if we can continue to see some growth like that every week, I think tonight he may get some good completions, maybe some big yardage down the field, and towards the end of the season, and especially getting into district in a couple weeks, I think maybe we'll see a big jump in the confidence that we see from Trent Clater.
And I really want to compliment the Jacksonville coaching staff. They've done a fantastic job of subbing. Jacksonville suits up 34 players. I mean, they lost Drew Dials for the season. That was 35. I mean, that's not a lot of players right there, trying to get the numbers up. So when you have 34 players, you don't have ones and twos everywhere. You're playing a lot of guys both ways. And, the way that they've moved Dede in at running back with Searles, the way they've moved those guys around, the way that they've moved Mike Taylor in it on the offensive line and the defensive line, and the way they've worked in Michael Miles at tight end a little bit. So it's been a real interesting couple of ball games to watch the choreography of the sidelines and how the coaches have managed having just 34 players.
Yeah, it's been a really well-done job, I think, by the coaches working with the guys that they have. And, we've seen some really good play on defense, especially defensive line and linebackers really being able to stop the run this year. That was a big problem for Jacksonville last year, was being able to stop the run. You can tell that was a big point of emphasis in the offseason. And I think that tonight, even though Henderson does have a really good running back, I think Jacksonville's defensive line and linebackers are going to try to shine again in the run game. Of
course, Michael Miles has had a couple of whiz-bang games, and Jordan Dorsey's been playing great, Calvin Boyd. And what about the sophomore linebacker, Elijah Benavides? He's third in tackles with 20. Jordan has 18 tackles, eight TFLs, and 2 block punts. So, and Michael Miles leads with 22 tackles. He has a strip and score. And this really great play, as you said, Ryan, something different that Jacksonville had. It's kind of like the running game that's been non-existent for Jacksonville for so long. This year it's powerful. It's strong. I can say the same thing about the defensive front and the linebackers. They're taking better angles. They're tackling. And it's just good to see.
It is.
It really has been. The defense has been a bright spot both in the center game and last week, and they're going to need a big game tonight as well. And on offense, we know Rodarius Searles has had a little illness the past couple weeks, so hopefully he's been able to get over that and get back into form. And he's actually our spotlight player of the game. So sophomore running back Randy Searles, 22 carries for 163 yards and 2 touchdowns between 2 games. He's been a big part of the Jacksonville offense on the ground to start the season. Lee has on the graphic here that he can score from anywhere, and we've seen that is very apparent as he's had multiple I think both of his touchdowns were a pretty sizable distance. And
just last year as a freshman, what he did. Remember the Chapel Hill game?
For sure. And, he's not just dangerous at running back. He's also really dangerous on kickoff return and some of the special teams plays as well.
And I'm going to talk about this offensive line. I mean, they have just – Kurt Powell's the offensive line coach for Jacksonville. And, I mean, Luis Mancer, everybody knows about Luis. He's a returning starter, 6'5", 310. But, Alex Parra, another returning starter, Mike Taylor, Javon Rangel, Jamario Coleman, Saul Garcia. He's stepped up, and he's done a heck of a job on the offensive line. And Javian Sanders, Toby Simpson. And, with this new offense that new OC Danny Ramsey's brought in, you got tight ends. So Jared Holman, the senior, second year on the varsity, doing a great job at tight end. But then you got the sophomore, Cam Thompson, 6'3", about 215, 220, catches his first pass last week. It's really just a different look offense for Jacksonville. If you've been looking at the Fighting Indians for the last, 10, 12 years, it's been that spread offense, throw it around. This is different. This is more old school, and really paid off well last week for them against Brownsboro.
It really has. Do you have anything else before we bring in Brad?
I
Matt?
don't. Let's get our superintendent in here. Everybody wants to hear from him. They hear enough from me, so it's time to hear from him.
All right, well, up next we have JISD Superintendent Brad Stewart joining us on our countdown to kickoff. We'll take a short break while we bring Brad on, and we will be right back.
We'd like to say thank you to tonight's team meal sponsor, Chick-fil-A. Thank you for your valued support of Jacksonville Athletics.
Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741. Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been servicing the Texas market with the finest quality fuels and lubricants. Each batch is crafted with precision and quality tested by our in-house lab. Whether you're on the road, on the farm, or on the job, we have the right product for your needs.
The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich is delicious. It's got that barbecue flavor, that cheese melts on top with that Texas toast. You look at it, your mouth starts watering. It's my go-to sandwich. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, that's my all-time favorite.
I'm Matt Montgomery. For over 40 years, my business has helped people manage their money and organize their financial life. I'm a registered investment advisor with the state of Texas and chartered financial consultant. Whether you need portfolio management or comprehensive financial planning, I can help you. Call me for a free consultation.
Welcome back to the countdown to kickoff. Joining us now, JISD Superintendent Brad Stewart. And Brad, we thank you for coming on to take some time out of your busy schedule to come talk to us, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
So, start off, how has the start of the 2024-25 school year been?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say if I had a nickel for every time I've been asked that, it would be great. But it's a great question. You know, a lot of people don't really realize how big of a machine it is to get a school district year started. You know, we've got a little over 900 employees and, 4,700 students, and then all the things that you have to do to support that. And, of course, there's a lot of work that goes in over the summer to get ready for a new school year. But to answer your question, as I've been out and about on campuses and talking to students and staff and, talking to parents, honestly, it's been a very, very good start to the year. I'm hearing things from veteran employees like this may be one of the best starts that I remember having. So
oh, wow.
That's very encouraging. We would never sit here and say that everything's perfect, ever, but it's definitely been a very, very good start to the year. We're very pleased. And so now our job is just to kind of try to keep that momentum up and carry it on out through the rest of the school year.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Brad, Jacksonville ISD has several people in new leadership roles this year. Can you share who they are and what their roles are?
Yeah, probably some of the more higher profile new positions. Well, one is not a new person, but a person in a new position as the train goes by. So we're at the Tomato Bowl.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Jody Alderetti, who is a veteran administrator for us, been at Eastside Elementary for years, done a just tremendous job working with our students, our teachers, our families, our community, knows us all very well. Didn't realize it, but she was ready for a change and has plugged in at our high school as our new high school principal and is just doing outstanding. I couldn't be more proud of Jody and the job that she's doing. And she really put together a good leadership team over there. Of course, a lot of those folks were already in place. But we had an opportunity to do some promotion from within. And Miss Sarah Traylor, who has been with us for a while in several different capacities, has been promoted to a associate principal, kind of over the instructional side of things at the high school. Sarah just does a great job for us. And we were fortunate to be able to bring in Mr. Darren Vossler, an experienced administrator. He's also an associate principal who has some different responsibilities, kind of more on the student side of things. Of course, all of those lines get blurred with all the different day-to-day things that come up, but that leadership team, along with the folks that were already there, and of course the staff that's already at the high school that was already in place that have always done a really good job for us, they seem to really, really be on point. And what I'm really encouraged about that group is they are really in tune with the student body. And I think that we're, one of the things that we're really focusing on this year is not just what we're doing as a district level initiative for different things, but really engaging with the student body to talk to them about how do you want your school to look and feel. And so I'm really proud of them doing that. And then if you look at another very important leadership position, we were able to bring in a new middle school principal this year, Miss Stephanie Burns. Also a lot of experience, and she's coming into middle school, and a lot of internal early benchmarks that we look at are showing to be very, very good. She always has a smile on her face, upbeat, and those types of things. So really excited that she's joined our team and plugging in with the folks that were already at our middle school as well. And it seems like they've had a really good start. And then beside that, it's always easy to talk about your new people that come in, but I'm really, really proud of the folks that continue to come back year after year. Our experienced administrators that stay with us and just help us lead our district hopefully in the right direction.
And with Jody moving to the high school, we were able to promote from within at Eastside as well, right?
Yes. So we were able to promote our assistant principal, Miss Shelley Cook, up to that, and she stepped in and just, good for the campus because she knew everybody. They know her, and they didn't really have to come in and experience a lot of change. They were able to just kind of keep the momentum that they already had going in that direction, and just also, she's doing a tremendous job for us there. So we're real proud of her. Yeah.
That's great.
Yep.
Well, in addition to staff, there have been several other changes across JISD. As superintendent, you're out in the district visiting the Jacksonville campuses. What feedback are you hearing from the students as we begin the new school year?
Well, we knew that we were going to kind of have a renewed initiative to we wanted to really take advantage of the start of the school year to really reestablish our climate and our culture in JISD, what we want things to look like for our students. And so knowing that we were going to have really high expectations and spend a lot of time at the beginning of school to really teach those expectations, more intense about that than we've ever been. We don't want to surprise our kids with what we expect of them. So we talked to every campus principal about let's learn how to be at school before we learn at school. And so we knew that we were going to be teaching a lot of expectations and what we wanted our schools to look like and talking to students as we did that. So we thought we would work with them a little bit, and we made some changes to the dress code. And so we kind of freed our dress code up just a little bit, and I've had a lot of positive responses from our student body about the new dress code that we have in place. Aside from that, part of our expectations is, really looking at our cell phone policy on campus because we want students to be engaged in what we're doing at school and not have distractions and those types of things. And so we didn't go all the way to the route to say you just cannot have a cell phone with you, but we were pretty direct in saying that we want to keep cell phones just completely out of sight during the instructional day. And strangely enough, as I've talked to students, especially the secondary students, high school, middle school, they say things to me like they're talking with their classmates much more than they have in the past. And I said, well, give me an example of that, especially at the beginning of school where we're going over rules and procedures. Maybe we have 3 to 4 minutes before the bell change. And kids that are not necessarily in my friend group, we're sitting there, we're having conversations with each other. And so hearing things like that is really neat. And then when you're at the high school or the middle school and you see the class changes and exchanges, you see students talking to each other. More so than you did in the past. No earbuds in their ears, just walking up and down the hallways. Cafeteria. Card games are coming out. Board games are coming out in the cafeteria. Just seeing kids interact with each other in that way. As a matter of fact, I've got to go next week, and one of the students that's a member of our drum beat wants to do a news article about all of this, so I'm going to go be interviewed for that. But it's overall, we have an outstanding student council at the high school. We also have an outstanding ambassador team. And for those that are out there watching that may not know what that is, every campus gets to nominate students that go through an interview process to become part of the JISD Student Ambassador team. And those students are interviewed and selected, and we've got about 25 or 26 students that are just what you would think. They're the ambassadors for the district, and they go around and they're able to tell the story from the perspective of students and what their experiences are like on our campuses. And there's nobody better than to communicate how they truly feel and how things are going. So we talk to those groups and student councils, and of course each individual campus principal is having conversations daily with students. So we're getting a lot of positive feedback, and we're hoping that this push to really promote a positive climate and culture will just continue and grow and get better and better. So.
I think the ambassador program has really been positive for the kids and the community. It's bridged some gaps there maybe with the Rotary and Lions and
absolutely and
City Council and a number of events. I don't know how many activities they attend a year, but it's quite a few.
It's a lot, and we even utilize them. We do a convocation, as you guys know, at the beginning of each school year, and we kind of, in honor of the Olympics, we adopted a go for the gold somewhat theme. And so to kick off our opening ceremony, so to speak, we had all of our staff in the gym, and we started with a torch run over here at the Tomato Bowl, and it culminated with lighting of our old Flaming J out in front. And we utilized our ambassador team to pretty much run convocation for us this year with a focus on the students. And, they just, everywhere that they go, I think that people that are exposed to what they are able to talk about and articulate is going on inside the schools just promotes the positive things that are out there. We're really proud of that group and all of our students. So.
Is the ambassador team something that's new
this year? This has been around for a while.
Okay.
And I can't quote you exactly when it started, but it's something that we've done for a while, and we just continue to enhance it each year. And some of the students, may have been 3rd or 4th grade ambassadors and get out of it for a while, and maybe they get more involved at the high school level, and we'll see some of them come back. The neat thing about it is you'll see the high school students really coaching the younger kiddos. And they do a lot of public speaking through this process, and to watch some of the younger kids learn how to get up in front of a group of people and talk and present themselves, or, not only are they promoting the district in a positive way, they're learning some life skills that will be great for them for years to come.
Wow, that sounds really fantastic.
Yeah, cool.
So in just a bit, we'll see several students from Fred Douglass Elementary run out of the tunnel for this week's group of Little Indians. There are a number of great things that happen on a Friday night in the historic Tomato Bowl. So for our people watching on JISD Live, why should they come out and visit the Tomato Bowl to cheer our teams on in person?
Well, first of all, I don't want to diminish what you guys do here. I think this is great for our community to be able to, I think, one of the best live programs that any high school group is putting on, bar none. So when you ask a question like that, Todd, the thing that comes to my mind is, as I'm looking out here at the field right now, I'm thinking about all of our students that participate in Friday night. They go to school all day long, and then they're either doing extra practice in the mornings or after school and working really, really hard to come out here on Friday night and just absolutely do their best. Win, lose, or draw, every one of our students, whether they're Cherokee Charmers, whether they're twirlers, whether they're part of our flag crew that runs up and down the side, our band members, I don't want to leave anybody out, but everybody that is out here, they work really, really hard to come out and showcase what they're doing. And we're in the historic Tomato Bowl, and it means a lot to them to have the community come out and support and see what they're doing. So the fuller the stands are, the better they probably perform, and the more they realize how much we appreciate them doing this for our school and our community. So, from that perspective, we just want everybody to come out and support the kids. And then our staff. I mean, these staff members, they have a full teaching load all day long. And they also are starting very early in the morning and going late at night to work with our students to get them ready to come out here and do their best. And at the end of the day, we need to remember that these are students, and they're competing. Of course, we all want to win, but just for everybody to remember that they are absolutely doing their best to represent Jacksonville High School and themselves the best that they can. So come out and support.
Absolutely. And last week at Brownsboro, we had a great crowd for the game. Our stands were full last week.
Yeah,
there were a few spots, but it was very few. So it was great to see a good crowd for us.
And that's very much appreciated when our community comes out and supports us like that, for sure.
Yeah, and there's a lot that goes on. You got the football team, you got the band, you got the twirlers, you got the charmers. Am I forgetting anybody?
I don't think. Well, I think
we've got a pretty good student section this year.
The student section this year, and I know that I know the flag crew is not what they're calling themselves this year. They're the Spirit Chiefs or something. I think most of those guys that are doing that are part of our cross-country team or our soccer team. And, just having them come out and support our football players is great, And hopefully some of our football team will turn around and do the same thing when soccer season comes around, support all of them. So hopefully we didn't leave anybody out, but
I hope not.
Everybody that's involved, we do appreciate what they're doing.
Yeah,
sure.
and there's a lot of students involved. We've got a really good atmosphere here in the Tomato Bowl. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love that we do the broadcast. It's a lot of fun. I'm glad that we get to put it out for people who aren't able to make it.
Right.
But people go to live events for a reason. You go to watch an NFL game. You go to watch a college football game. There's a reason that you go to concerts. There's a reason that you go to a live event. It's the atmosphere. It's the people around you all cheering for the same team.
Absolutely.
And I think if that's not reason enough to come out to the Tomato Bowl, then maybe you shouldn't be watching the broadcast.
Well,
I'll just throw that out there.
Absolutely. No, it's all great. I appreciate what you guys do as well. So.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, Brad.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else that you want to touch on before we throw it over to Inside the Huddle?
I think I'm about talked out, so
All right.
I'm good.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you coming on and taking time out of your day to come over and talk and share what's going on in Jacksonville ISD with the audience. It is about time to send it over to Inside the Huddle. So we will throw it over to that and hear from head coach Jason Holman. Inside the Huddle is sponsored by All Smiles. Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
Welcome to Inside the Huddle with head football coach and athletic director Jason Holman. Fighting Indians on the road last week get a huge win over Brownsboro, 35-7. Coach, big win. Overall impressions of the game and your thoughts on Jacksonville getting in the win column.
Well, we were excited to get the win, no question. We struggled a little bit trying to break away from them. Told the kids at halftime, just turn it loose, leave it all out on the field, give your very best, don't worry about making mistakes, go hard. And let's pull away, and that's exactly what we did, and very proud of them in our effort.
You know, you were only up 7-0 at the half. It felt like you were up more than that, but you just didn't get the scores because you were really running the ball. Obviously, over 300 yards of total offense. Again, Dede went off 202 yards on, 22 carries. Just a big game by him. And your offensive line, Randy had a good game running the football. Coach, the offenses, we talked about this at the half, trying to find their identity. I think the second half shows who you guys want to be.
And it does. You know, we've still got to work on eliminating mistakes. We just made too many throughout the game in terms of false starts, had a couple delay a game situations, and some holding penalties that set us back and kept us from scoring. And we've got to eliminate those to the point where we can make good on drives. You know, we had a couple of 2nd and 20s, I think, that we actually converted for first downs. And you don't have to overcome that all night long. So we've got to get better in that category.
One thing I noticed defensively, another great game by your defense, by the way, just not counting the first half against Center. That was such a weird half with the turnovers and things. But once again, I mean, I thought an adjustment from the Center game was you guys kind of let Brownsboro throw some stuff underneath just to make sure they didn't get behind you.
Yeah, that was a big emphasis going into that week. Of course, we got beat deep several times in the Center game. So we didn't, we went to work on that, trying to shore that stuff up. There were some things that we needed to tweak with our underneath drops that would have helped out on the short passing game. I mean, we're not just going to stand there and let them throw that. But, the kids just improved from one week to the next.
Yeah.
We got better at what we're doing, better eyes in the secondary. A little better understanding. We've changed some things from last year. So even though we've got some returners like Brennan Richards and Zeke Whitaker, there are things that are new. We made some good improvement from week 1 to week 2.
Man, there's lots of great highlights. Let's take a look at those right now against Brownsboro. Of course, here's Dede with a 56-yard run down to the 2. Look at the blocking. You got Luis, Jared, Josh. Just great blocking.
Yeah, great way to start the game. Obviously, Dede had like you mentioned, had 202 yards rushing for the night.
Big break up here by Zeke.
Yeah, this is a great break. Good eyes. Good job driving the route, getting there and creating a pass breakup.
Calvin Boyd getting in there for the big tackle for loss here.
Calvin's arguably our strongest kid. I don't know if he knows exactly how strong he is, but he continues to get better every week.
Here's another guy getting better, Jamario Coleman.
Yeah, Jamario coming in and getting a big play there.
Here's Jordan getting in another tackle for loss. We saw a lot of these tonight.
Jordan's got 8 tackles for loss in 2 games, had 4 the other night.
How about KC Cardenas? This is his first year to play football, and he has been a find for you guys. Look at this coffin corner punt.
Yeah, doing an outstanding job punting the football, pinning them down inside the 10.
So here is the second punt block in 2 weeks for Jordan Dorsey.
Yeah, Jordan's just got a knack for it. Of course, he's so long. Huge play. One of these times we're going to pick this up and get it to the end zone. But we're excited about that. Obviously, our opponent's got to count for that.
24-yard run by Randy Searles. Look at that kick-out block by Gaskin.
Good block by Josh and good cut by Randy to get into the end zone.
Monster sack here by Ty Lindsay. This was our bone crusher hit of the game.
Excited for Ty. You know, he's getting better. He's converted from a linebacker to a defensive end, getting better every single week.
Coach, this is another 52-yard run by Dede. Luis, Josh, Toby Simpson with a big block here. And look downfield. Look at Zeke getting that stock block.
Yeah, big block right there. Good patience by Dede, too, in the backfield before he finally smashed the gas and made the cut.
So no question, the second half you dominated Brownsboro, and Brownsboro had some dudes. They got cornerback going to TCU. It's not like they didn't lack athletes. They had some players, but your team just seemed to really come together in the second half and just ran all over them.
I think we had a good sense of having an opportunity to go out and get a win, and like I mentioned, I was happy to see the kids take advantage of that. We've talked about it multiple times. They've done the work. They deserve the success, and I was glad to see us be able to go out and do it.
Players of the game that the coaches selected for.
Yeah, so offensively, we had both DD with 202 yards rushing and Alex Parra, who did an outstanding job blocking. I believe graded out very, very well and just did a really good job, was very instrumental in the 322 total rushing yards that we had for the night. So those were our offensive players of the week. Defensively, we had Jordan Dorsey. He tallied six solos, 3 assists, had 5 TFLs against Brownsboro, 1 sack, 1 quarterback knockdown, and a block punt. Just throwing a lot of production out there for us and very active. And then, like you mentioned, in the kicking game with Casey Cardenas and Toby Simpson, who did a great job snapping the football all night long on punts and extra points. So those were our players of the week.
Boy, they all did a heck of a job. Let's move on to Henderson. First home game at Tomato Bowl. Great to be home. You got 3 in a row now. Henderson is a good football team. They scored 45 in beating Athens the first game. Last week they got beat by LE by 3, 44-41. This is a Henderson team that can, like you guys, run the football. This game may be over by 9:30.
If we don't get all the flags we had last week, you may be right. But, they're a good football team. There's no question about it. They're talented both offensively and defensively. Got some skill back on the offensive side of the ball that know what they're doing. The second year for Coach Baker in that scheme. It's going to be a challenge. I think mistakes are going to be a key part of this. Who makes the most is going to be probably on the short end of the stick at the end of the night. So we've got to be on our best. Got to be playing hard. Obviously, they've got some deep threats that they can throw the ball to as well as run. So we've got to be on point defensively. It's a good warm-up game for what we're getting ready to face in district. So it's exciting to be home. I think the kids are excited to play at home. Ought to be a good night to play football for sure.
Yeah, number 2, Starling is the young man. He played for him last year, but looks a lot like Dede size-wise. But he's already scored 7 touchdowns, and he has 380 yards of running already in 2 ball games. Big offensive line. But, Coach, your defense has really defended the run really well in these first 2 ball games.
We have. I think, this arguably may be the best offensive line we've faced. As a team, they're comparable to center for sure. But, it's going to be a big test for us. They do some things in the passing game that are going to create some problems with us where we're going to have to spread out a little bit. We'll see how well we can handle the run doing that. We've got to be able to make some checks and pressure them too. So it's going to be a big challenge.
Coach, throwing the football has been a bit of a struggle. You have a sophomore quarterback, but, man, he was night and day difference from week 1 to week 2, and he's going to keep getting more mature and getting better. Talk a little bit about how you guys will try to maybe complement your running game, which has been excellent, throwing the football in the next few ball games, getting ready for district.
Yeah, when you're a heavy run team, obviously probably the best way to throw the football would be coming off a play action or running the bootleg or things of that nature. Trent's done a really good job for us, accepting the role and stepping into the role and accepting it and taking charge. He's got a good huddle presence. He's getting better and better. His stats aren't reflective of some of the drops that we've had.
Yes.
That we've got to make good on. Catch the ball when we have the opportunity. But he's still learning and still growing, and I think as we go along, you're going to see some definite improvement, which is the whole goal. I mean, we got to improve every single week to get better and better and better. Hopefully, to hit our prime when we're towards the end of district. So I'm excited for him, and he's a great kid that comes to work hard every single day. He's going to improve.
Coach, keys to the ball game to win against Henderson.
We've got to be able to control them defensively. Got to be able to get the ball into the offensive hands. So I think that's a huge key. Like as I mentioned, they do some things in the passing game where they try to get on top of you. We've got to make sure that doesn't happen. We're going to have to give a little bit underneath to be able to protect over the top. So just got to make them earn it and not gain big chunks of yardage. I think the kicking game, we say this every week, but I think the kicking game's a big for us this week. I really feel like if we'll do our job in the special teams, we've got an advantage. As good as they are offensively, they give up points on defense, or they have in the previous 2 games, and they've made some mistakes in the kicking game. So I think that's a real area where we can take advantage of them there. And then outside of that, it's just like I said, whichever team managed to make the least amount of mistakes, I think, is going to come out in the win column.
Yeah,
so
you had 5.
Clean that up.
You had 5 turnovers against Center. You didn't have any last week. And look at the difference. And turnovers, people I think they underestimate turnovers and how much of a game swingers they are.
Oh, absolutely. And we've managed. I mean, if you count the block punt and a turnover on kickoff, we managed to get in the plus column. So. Anytime you're in the plus column on turnovers and takeaways, that's extra possessions for you. And if we make good on them with scores like we did with the block punt and the kickoff, honestly, those were 2 situations where we got able to score and get on top of them.
Coach, last thing, Friday night at Tomato Bowl. You were on the road the first 2 ball games. You got a young team coming in. Big eyes Friday night, home game, big crowd.
Yeah, and like I said, I think the kids are excited to play there. Biggest thing for us is, we've just got to keep our head and our composure, which we've done a great job of doing in the 2 previous games. It's, as we preach to the kids all the time, it's never about who we're playing as much as it is about us. You don't just get fired up for one opponent and not for another. You just go to play. You keep things about us. You keep the focus about what we're doing on the down that we're on, and one play at a time.
Jacksonville versus Henderson tonight at Tomato Bowl. For Inside the Huddle, I'm Matt Montgomery. He's Jason Holman. Back to you, Ryan.
Welcome into the historic Tomato Bowl for our countdown to kickoff. And Matt, it's a beautiful night here in the Tomato Bowl.
Oh, every night's a beautiful night in the Tomato Bowl. But, man, being on the road to start the season, getting to come home for a 3-game homestand. You don't have that very often. In fact, I cannot remember the last time Jacksonville had 3 home games in a row. Of course, Henderson tonight in the home opener, and next week Athens comes in, and then you got the district opener against Nacogdoches in a couple of weeks. So it's an exciting time of the year. Everybody feels fresh. Jacksonville coming in at 1-1. Henderson also coming in at 1-1. Last week, Henderson lost by a score of 44-41 to Liberty Ilo. They won week 1. 45-35 over Athens. So this is a Henderson team. They've scored 86 points in 2 ball games. So this is a team that can put up some points.
They definitely have. It's it's tough to come in after a big win over Brownsboro and look at your opponent and say, well, they score 40 points a game. So we're going to have to hold them to a whole lot less than that, and that is the game plan tonight against Henderson.
Here's the Jacksonville school song. We'll pause for just a moment to listen to that. Ryan, speaking of defense, Jacksonville, they've given up, they got beat 38-7 first game, But you think about it, the last game and a half, the last 6 quarters, Jacksonville's only given up 13 points on defense.
They really have. And you know, the first half of the Center game is probably about as bad as anyone can start a football game.
You couldn't have written a worse script.
Yeah, and Jacksonville, you know, I think went in, kind of regrouped at halftime. Maybe some of the nerves went away, and they came out and, you know, stepped it up in the second half in that game. They had a tremendous game defensively last week, holding Brownsboro to only 7 points, and they're going to need a really big defensive effort because Henderson is very capable of scoring a lot of points.
Yeah, this is going to be a battle of the twos tonight. On the Henderson side, number 2, Justin Starling, 50 carries already in 2 ball games for 348 yards. He's averaging 7 yards a carry, 7 touchdowns. Starling did the math here, 67. 2/3 of their total offense is him. On the other side, Jacksonville, their number 2, Didi Mahrez, coming into the ballgame. He has 43 carries for 313 yards. He's also averaging 7 yards a carry in the 3 touchdowns he got last week when he had 202 yards rushing against Brownsboro. And, of course, complemented by the sophomore, our Spotlight Player of the Week, Randy Searles. Through 2 ball games, Randy has 22 carries for 163 yards, a couple of scores, had a 44-yard touchdown run last week and a 24-yard touchdown run, just beautiful. Followed the blocking, the kick-out block by Luis Mancero on that 24-yard touchdown run by Randy was just classic. So you got a couple of good running backs in this game, actually 3, 2 for Jacksonville, and I'm not sure who else runs the ball for Starling besides Starling for Henderson, but they don't have many other guys touching the ball but him. Of course, Vince Howard, the quarterback, the junior's thrown for 380 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, so they can also throw the ball, Ken Henderson.
Yeah, and, you know, Jacksonville's been kind of weak in the secondary, not just through the first game. I mean, last week, secondary looked great. But last year, that was a big struggle, is giving up those explosive plays, the big, deep ball down the field. And if Jacksonville's run defense is able to hold Starling and kind of contain him running the football tonight, I would think we're probably going to see Howard throw some deep balls at some point.
Yeah, and I was talking to Jason Holman this week. You know, I said, you guys, they scout themselves. Jason Holman said, absolutely, you scout yourself. I said, what would you do against you? And he said, you know, if it's me, I mean, obviously we got to defend the pass because that's something that we showed we were susceptible to. But, again, first games are weird. I know I say that all the time. It's already week 3, but I'm going to go back and say that first half, as you just said a moment ago, strangest first half I think Jacksonville's ever had. Now, there was one that was close to that in Wayne Coleman's first year in 2015 when we went to Pine Tree. I think Jacksonville fumbled 7 times in the first half.
That's a lot of turnovers.
That's a lot of turnovers in one half. I mean, that was unbelievable. So, yeah, you got to stay away from turnovers. 5 against Center, 0 last week against Brownsboro. That's why you got such a different result.
Yeah, and, you know, I think Jacksonville did a good job defensively last week on the first drive, setting the tone. They held Brownsboro to 3 and out, and then Jacksonville then turned around and had a huge explosive play on the first play from Didi. And I think not only, you know, having those explosive plays, but also just getting that first down is such a big momentum builder as you go through the first drive. And I think that's going to be a big key tonight is when Jacksonville gets the football, whether it's, you know, right after the kickoff or after a big defensive stand, hopefully they come out and they're able to get that first down and just keep moving the chains down the field.
Yeah, that's a great observation because if you remember last week, Jacksonville was up 14-0, and then all of a sudden it was 14-7, and then Jacksonville got the ball right after Brownsboro scored, and that's the big run by Didi. Went right down there and scored. Jason Holman said he thought that was the turning point of the game. Brownsboro scoring, and then Jacksonville just going, okay, and they answered. That was huge. So tonight, you're right. You want to get off to a good start. You don't want to get behind the 8 ball like you did against Center in that first half.
Definitely. We've got the video here in the Tomato Bowl, so let's see if we can cue that up for everybody.
To the stadium on the hill. It is historic. It is iconic red rock and a J made of flame. It is the season of fall and football in the Lone Star State. It is where legends are born and perseverance reigns supreme. It is where a proud city comes to cheer its Indians to victory. It is Friday night, and the historic Tomato Bowl.
Still gives me chills.
It's been several years now. We've had that video, and it's just as fun to watch every time.
Every time. Got a beautiful night here at Tomato Bowl. It's September. It's kind of muggy, kind of sticky. A little bit warmer than it was last week in Brownsboro, but it is a pleasant night for football. No wind at all. Very still night. Henderson has brought a solid crowd over, as you would expect. This is the 87th meeting all time between Jacksonville and Henderson. Henderson is the opponent that Jacksonville has played more than anyone else in their history.
Oh, wow.
And, of course, Palestine is in there at number 2, as you would expect. Henderson leads this all-time series, 49 wins for the Lions, 33 for Jacksonville, and there have been 5 ties. And what else that's interesting tonight, Ryan, is Jacksonville has an opportunity to get their 500th school win, historical win in his school history.
Oh,
tonight.
wow. That would be
they're sitting on $4.99 right now.
That would be a big win.
Oh, man. That would be something else.
I had no idea Jacksonville and Henderson had played that many times.
87th meeting tonight.
Well, hopefully we can add one to the win column when all is said and done here tonight from the historic Tomato Bowl.
Well, Henderson's been a storied program. I mean, they were a tremendous program back in the 60s. I mean, you know, they had Joe Wiley, who went on to Oklahoma. They've had some unbelievable players, and Ricky Dudley, who went to the NFL, Drew Coleman. So Jacksonville has its share of NFL players, but so do the Henderson Lions. And I watched some of those guys play against Jacksonville back in the day, and it's a proud program. And Clay Baker, in his second year at Henderson, done a heck of a job. And there's a lot of excitement over in Henderson because of Clay Baker and the program that he's trying to build at Henderson.
Yeah, I mean, we saw only a few years ago where Henderson was not very strong, and then we were kind of expecting that last year when we played them, and they came in and put up a huge number on us.
Shocking. I mean, they came into play. I was not expecting that either. That was a very impressive win, and hopefully Jason Holman has reminded his team, especially the guys that were on last year's team. Do you remember how they embarrassed us here last year in our last game at Tomato Bowl? Jacksonville now out of the dressing room, still waiting for Henderson to get out of that south dressing room on the Jumbotron in. Of course, Jacksonville with their run-through all set up. And, Ryan, you look in the end zone over there and you see Jacksonville kind of doing some stretches. Look at the uniforms.
All gold tonight.
Yeah. It's. I was asked, when was the last time Jacksonville wore all gold? And I believe it was 2017, the last year Jacksonville played on the grass here at Tomato Bowl before it was remodeled. I believe that's right. If anybody knows, they can correct me. But these are brand new unis, and they look really, really good.
I'm a big fan of the gold. I'm not sure if I'm as big a fan on the gold on gold as I am of the gold on blue, but I'm a big fan of the gold uniforms.
Yeah, the gold on blue is classic. This gold on gold is just, I mean, you know, a lot of young players today, you know how they are about uniforms, right? We talked about this last week, how they all want the single-digit numbers. You know, it's better to look good than to play good. I mean, that's kind of like their attitude sometimes. You know how Baylor started all that with all those 17 different combinations of uniforms. Oregon's
they're known for got that. A lot.
Yeah, Phil Knight owns Nike, the Oregon guy. He's the one that fitted all them. So, but I really like the look tonight. Let's hope Jacksonville plays as good as they look. So here comes Henderson now gathering in the south end zone wearing white on white. That's going to be quite a contrast tonight with their red and blue. Blue helmets, red trim, white jerseys, white pants. Jacksonville, of course, with their blue helmets, gold jerseys, blue numbers, gold pants.
And Henderson comes out and goes straight into their tunnel. They have a big lion at the front of this tunnel.
That's a good-looking run-through, I got to say. I like it. My favorite one's Nacogdoches, though, the big dragon.
The big dragon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a lot of fun.
That's a good one. So I see some of the Henderson Lions as they step into that run-through. They've got some size, Ryan. We're going to see a big offensive line that Henderson will put on the field. So it'll be interesting to see how Jacksonville's, what I call their big three up front, Jordan Dorsey, of course, Michael Miles, and Elijah Benavides, the other two leading tacklers at linebacker. You know, it's going to be a challenge. Mike Taylor, Ty Lindsey, how those guys handle Calvin Boyd. the big guys up front, because the little guy coming through there, Justin Starling, he's as big as a minute. Kind of like Dede.
Yeah.
He's not and just speaking of Dede, have you noticed how he's changed the way that he runs this year? Last year he would go through and have his head down. He would just bust through there. And as a senior this year, he's slowed down. He waits for the block to develop, particularly on that long 52-yard touchdown run last week. Elijah Whitaker's down the field stalk blocking, and Dede just slows down and waits to see which way Elijah's going to put that guy, and he goes right around him. A lot of patience the way he runs. And then you've got Searles, the sophomore for Jacksonville. Man, he's just explosive. You just love when his hands have – you don't know where he's going.
You don't. And a lot of times it almost seems like the play's designed to go one way. He doesn't see anything there, comes back all the way across, and sometimes those are the biggest runs he has, is just making something out of nothing.
His vision. I mean, that's what Searles, when I noticed about him the most, is that a lot of guys don't have vision. They're straight-ahead runners. He knows how to find the little creases and slip through them. And he has a really strong offensive line to do that behind. I mean, Mancera, Parra, Mike Taylor, Rangel, and Coleman, and Saul Garcia, Sanders, Toby Simpson, and the tight ends, Jared Holman, Cam Thompson, the sophomore, caught his first pass last week. The key tonight to me, as we've talked about, can Jacksonville stay away from the turnovers on offense, control the football, maybe not double up Henderson on time of possession, but they need to win time of possession as Jacksonville, and obviously defend the deep ball against Henderson, because I really think that Vince Howard, the junior quarterback for Henderson, is going to try to test Jacksonville's secondary.
And, we haven't really talked about it much in the pregame before the show or after the show so far, but it's worth noting that Toby Simpson and KC Cardenas have got a pretty good connection going on the punt team so far, and it's going to probably come in handy tonight as Jacksonville is going to need KC to do a great job of flipping the field and trying to pin Henderson deep when they can. Now, I've heard that we're starting a little different.
Yep, we got a little walk-in music here. Okay, they told me the song. I can't remember who.
It's Enter Sandman by Metallica.
There you go.
While we've got a second, Matt, I do want to remind everyone watching that this part of our countdown to kickoff is brought to you by our good friends Gene Brumbelow and Ann Farmer at the South Jackson Dairy Queen. Big thanks to them for their support of our broadcast and Fighting Indian football.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gene. Thank you, Ann. Every year we can count on Ann and Gene and that South Jackson Dairy Queen to sponsor this part of our countdown to kickoff. As this Right, got you, Coach. Coach just signaled to me that Jacksonville is going to be kicking off, so they've already done the coin toss. Fighting Indians are going to be on defense first. So the song ended, and I saw players starting to come out, and then they stopped, and now here they come. So the Jacksonville High School band can get involved with it and play the school song. Well, the fight song, not the school song, the fight song.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise, and gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor America and those who protect our freedoms, both home and abroad. Please join the Jacksonville High School Fighting Indian Band under the direction of Mr. Donnie Barrier as they play our national anthem.
Jacksonville High School Band with the playing of the national anthem. We're almost set to go here. Week number 3, live and in color from the Tomato Bowl. Glad you're with us here on JSD Live. Fighting Indians opening up a 3-game homestand against their, we'll call them arch rival, if you will. This is a team Jacksonville has played more times than anyone in their school history. This is the 87th meeting, as I said earlier. Captains now will come out to midfield for the ceremonial head toss. If you missed it a moment ago, Jacksonville will be kicking off. I didn't catch whether Jacksonville deferred or not, but I guess that doesn't matter.
We'll find out. But Jacksonville kicking off, I think, is probably a good call.
Yep, good call.
We saw last week them come out and start really well with a good 3-and-out. And, you know, our defense has been the strong point through the first 2 games. So I think it's a good thing to go ahead and start and try to get a big stop on the first drive.
Yeah, that's a good call, Ryan. I agree. Put your strength out on the field to start the game and set the tone. And that's been Jacksonville defensively.
Number 55, Michael Taylor. And number 15, Jared Holman.
Officials talking to the players. We're really selling this, aren't they? And
they are.
The coin's already been tossed.
I would like to give a shout-out to Mr. Don Couples, who's having his first action.
Wins the toss and defers.
Yeah, Jacksonville won the toss and defers. Go ahead, Ryan.
First action in the Tomato Bowl in the PA booth, so good luck to him tonight on his first call here. He's done a lot of basketball games, but first time in the Tomato Bowl.
All right. Hey, a little shout-out. Lee Traylor tonight was rocking the 1977 Jacksonville Fighting Indian football jersey, number 66.
He was.
His dad wore, Mike Traylor. Watches all these games. Mike, hello, former teammate. I was the guy holding when the number 66 was doing that kicking. So it was really cool. He walked in. I said, "Where'd you get that, man? I didn't get my number 11." Yeah, you got to know people, and I guess I didn't know enough people. So Jacksonville will be kicking off, dropping back for the Lions. Well, you know what would help? If I get my roster set up here. Got all my stats and everything, but no roster, but I'll get that here in just a moment.
So we'll see KC tee this one up to get this game underway. Kickoffs brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee.
It's going to be LaKelton Freeney dropping back deep for Henderson. We're set to go. Glad you're with us. There's the kickoff, and here's Ryan.
Got a pop up to the near sideline from KC. Pretty good return, but good coverage there from Jacksonville. I believe that was Gaskin in on the tackle. So Jacksonville will start on defense.
Fighting Indians played pretty well last week against the Brownsboro Bears defensively. Let's see if they can get off to a good start right here against a Henderson team that has scored 85 points in 2 ball games. Coming into the game 1-1 as well. It's a solid team in Henderson. Vince Howard under center for the Lions.
2 each way for the Lions to start this game. Howard gets the snap, going to drop back, finds Starling in the flat, running out to his left. Jacksonville with some good coverage, but Starling's going to pick up about 6.
Thought I saw a clip right there, no call. Jacksonville was covering pretty well. I saw somebody come in for Henderson and looked like a little shove in the back, no call. Starling will pick up 7, 2nd and 3, maybe we'll call it 6, 2nd and 4.
3 right, 1 left for the Lions. Howard looking over the middle, connects with Mason Jones, and a big pickup there for Jones.
What I tell you, Henderson said, we're going to come out throwing, and they have the first 2 plays, and already they're in Jacksonville territory, Fighting Indian 35. This is a little slant route right there, but not very good tackling, and that's what enabled Jones to pick up an extra 12 yards running the football. First down, Henderson.
Howard going to take the snap, pitch this one to Starling this time. Starling trying to find some room to run, gets past a couple Jacksonville defenders, finally brought down by Michael Miles, but he's going to pick up 8.
Yeah, Mike Taylor with an opportunity to made initial contact on Starling, but man, Starling, you look at him out there, he's a squat body. I mean, he is not a guy that you're going to arm tackle. He's about 5'5", maybe 5'6".
So 2nd and 2. Looked like Jacksonville maybe jumped a little early. I didn't see a flag come in. Howard's going to go up the middle, pick up the first down.
Just a zone read right there, faking it to Starling, and Howard takes it for the first down. So a pretty solid offensive drive going here on the opening drive for the Henderson Lions. Has pushed it all the way down to the Jacksonville 18-yard line. First down.
Howard gets the snap, looks to his left, finds his man. Lots of room down that left sideline.
It's Murphy.
Looks like they're going to mark Amari Murphy out just short of the end zone. So it'll be 1st and goal for the Lions.
Yeah, just a quick passing game by Henderson. They're just flaring their backs out, and just the quick throw by Howard. And then those guys, they're just catching like a 5 or 6 yard pass, and then they're going for 14, 15 yards. 1st and goal.
1st and goal from the 4. Howard going to hand this one off to Starling, and he is going to get in for the Lions touchdown.
Number 2, Justin Starling in for the Henderson.
Starling in from 4 to give Henderson the 6-0 lead at the 10-11 marker in the first quarter. That was way too quick.
Yes, it was.
Well, we knew that Henderson could run the football, and they did that, but they also had a pretty impressive short passing game. Here's the extra point.
It's like Eric Garza on to attempt the extra point. We're going to have a flag come in. The kick was good. Extra points brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee.
Officials now going over to talk to the man in the white hat, tell him what he saw. He threw it from the back of the end zone right into the pile of players. I didn't see Whitaker for Jacksonville. Zeke came in like he was going to try to block it, and I didn't see any contact on the kicker. So it must be something on the line, maybe. Let's see.
Illegal formation on the defense. One of the interior players did not have his hand on the ground. By rule, his hand must be on the ground.
Wow.
The kick is good, or we have an option of half the distance to the goal.
I did not know that new rule. So you cannot be standing up at the line of scrimmage. Henderson declines the penalty. They'll take the extra point. Henderson leads 7-0.
And we'll step away for just a moment. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live. Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been servicing the Texas market with the finest quality fuels and lubricants. Each batch is crafted with precision and quality tested by our in-house lab. Whether you're on the road, on the farm, or on the job, we have the right product for your needs.
The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich is delicious. It's got that barbecue flavor, that cheese melts on top with that Texas toast. You look at it, your mouth starts watering. It's my go-to sandwich. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, that's my all-time favorite.
I'm Matt Montgomery. For over 40 years, my business has helped people manage their money and organize their financial life. I'm a registered investment advisor with the state of Texas and chartered financial consultant. Whether you need portfolio management or comprehensive financial planning, I can help you. Call me for a free consultation.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. 10-11 here left in the first quarter. Henderson on the board early, leaving Jacksonville 7-0. Eric Garza in to kick this one away for the Lions.
Brendan Richards back deep. He'll be joined back there by Reggie Searles and Didi Mares. Oh, onside
Garza
kick.
going to do an onside. This one not going to go far enough. So Jacksonville will let it roll out of bounds. There was a flag on the play as well. I'm going to guess it's probably offsides on the kickoff, so Jacksonville should get good field position.
I got a little nervous right there. Jordan Dorsey was just hanging around the ball as it was bouncing. He just got close to it and kind of put his arms up. I mean, he might have been able to snatch that ball and go the other way with it, but he didn't. I just say, get away, get away. But fortunately for Jacksonville, it goes out of bounds. And how about Henderson going down and scoring and then trying to onside kick it?
Trying to steal some possessions early.
Yeah. So the Fighting Indians, well, there's 2 fouls. Let's listen.
Kick out of bounds. Number 88. Offside. 7. 5 yards will be added to the end of the run. First down.
So Jacksonville's going to get nice field position on their opening possession.
They are. I think
after the penalties.
They're going to start somewhere around the Henderson 45, I believe.
So the ball not only goes out of bounds, but Henderson was offsides on the kick. So you're exactly right. It's going to be just inside the 45. We'll call it the 44. So the Fighting Indians already
past the midfield mark.
Good starting field position here on the first drive for Jacksonville. Clater takes the snap, going to hand this one off to Dede up the middle. Some good yardage there on the first play for Dede.
A nice block by Alex Parra right there, getting Mares through that little gap. Cam Thompson will check out, and the H-back number 11 for Jacksonville, the senior Josh Gaskin, caught a pass last week. I thought he scored.
I thought he did too.
I thought he hit the pylon, but he didn't get the score. That would have been pretty cool. But it wasn't, so second down for Jacksonville after the 5-yard pickup by Dede.
2nd and 5 for the Indians. 2 receivers left. Dede in the backfield with Clater. Clater going to take the snap, hand this one off to Dede again, and he's met behind the line of scrimmage. Going to bring up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, that's Klein Pelham right there, defensive lineman. Hits Dede right at the line of scrimmage and actually lost about a half yard. So 3rd down, we'll still call it a long 5.
So 3rd down for Jacksonville. Talked about that first down, Matt. This is a big play for the Indians.
Need it. Oh, we got flags. Procedure against Jacksonville. You know, it's 3rd down and 5. Now you got 3rd and just a little over 5. I mean 10, excuse me. Almost 3rd and 11 now. Things you can't do. Things you cannot do against a Henderson team that can score. As we saw, they score in a hurry. So they're going to get Jacksonville for procedure. Cam Thompson checks in. Dante Thompson checks out. Dante Simmons checks out. So 3rd down, 11 to go for the Fighting Indians. Is this a passing down, Ryan? We're about to find out.
I would think it kind of needs to be. Zeke Whitaker, the lone receiver, out for Jacksonville. The handoff is going to go to Dede around the right side. Some good yardage from Dede, but going to only pick up about 5.
Well, they caught him from behind in a hurry. Number 24, Logan White, with a tackle. Got a cool phone call last night. It's 4th down and 7 from Lance Alexander, JHS class of 1988. Basketball coach, been the principal down at Klein Forest for many, many years. Very successful school. He told me to say hello to Logan White, number 24, because Logan was an all-district linebacker last year, and that's 6A district. And he transfers to Henderson.
Oh, wow.
And he's their leading tackler coming into the ballgame. 4th down, Fighting Indians going for it here.
Big play here for the Indians. Dede in the backfield with Trent Clater. Handoff goes to Dede Mares, met in the backfield. Nothing there for Dede, and Jacksonville's going to turn it over.
Yeah, backside tackle by Trevor Kine right there coming around the edge. There's a lot of congestion right there as Dede was trying to follow his block, and then all the way from the other side comes Trevor Kine, the linebacker, and he wraps up Dede for no gain. So Henderson, after scoring on the opening drive to lead 7-0, they get their second offensive opportunity here. They'll start this drive at their own 42.
Yeah, penalties a big factor in last game. There were a lot of penalties against Brownsboro, and we heard head coach Jason Holman talk about that on Inside the Huddle, and that one was a killer for that drive for Jacksonville. So Henderson will take over 1st and 10 from inside their own 50. Around the side, Lamarian Coleman gets the pitch, so he'll pick up a couple, and that'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Nice job by Jordan Dorsey stringing that out before he could get some help from Calvin Boyd. So Coleman, he'll pick up 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8.
2nd and 7 from the Henderson line at 45-yard line.
4 receivers left for Henderson, 1 right. 2nd and 8. Howard going to take the snap, drops back, looking over the middle. It's there. Brendan Richards needed to pick that one off.
Oh, my goodness.
In his hands, not able to bring it in.
Oh, my goodness. Jason Holman's got to be beside himself. That ball was right in his hands. Could have been a huge turnover as you see Henderson going for the deep ball, like we expected them to do. Good coverage downfield by Jacksonville. Richards in perfect position from his safety position, just wasn't unable to, cornerback position, just didn't come away with it.
Howard gets the snap, dropping back, looking long over the middle again. This time has his man, and a huge catch for Henderson. Amari Murphy on the receiving end, and a huge gain for the Lions.
What a pass by Howard, leading his receiver. And Brendan Richards was with him all the way until about the last 5 yards. And the receiver just pulled away from him and just stretched out and gets the first down at the Jacksonville 15.
1st and 10 inside the red zone. This handoff goes to Starling, breaks a couple tackles, and he's going to get in. Another touchdown for the Lions, and that's 2 on the night for Justin Starling.
Wow. Touchdowns number 11 earlier and number 12 for the season for Starling of Henderson. He is racking up the points. 13-0 already. This smells like center without the turnovers.
Number 87, Ivan Navarro, in to attempt the point after for Henderson.
Navarro in for the extra point. Extra points brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee, and this one is good, so that'll make the score 14-0. Henderson leading Jacksonville. We'll take a short break and be right back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the satisfaction of a job well done, for the ideas that change the world, for good times, for not so good times, for her future and hers and his, for serving our customers and connecting communities. We're here with you for good. Austin Bank, with you for good.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. Henderson takes a 14-0 lead over Jacksonville. 6:36 left in the first. Eric Garza has this one teed up for the Lions.
Ryan, you're a former kicker. Todd, you're a former. Is that cheesy right there, what he just did?
It's pretty cheesy, yeah.
Just stop like that.
We're going to have a pop-up to the near side.
Elijah Benavides.
Benavides brings that one down and met almost immediately, so Jacksonville will take over after the kickoff. 1st and 10 from inside their own territory.
Excuse me, I'm not so sure that Jason Holman might not have wanted Elijah Benavides, the linebacker, to maybe fair catch that one. But he caught it and took off, you know.
Well, I think there's a flag down, so I kind of think maybe he waved for it and they still tackled him, or maybe he moved.
He definitely moved. But the flag is down around where the kickoff team was. I think they may be offsides again. See there's another one right here. There's 2 down. That's right. Maybe they're offsides. I didn't see his hand go up. If it did, it went up very slow, very quickly, because I didn't see it. Maybe he did. But yeah, he definitely ran with the ball. He didn't get hit. He started running with it.
Yeah, they do have one down at the 40 on the offset. It
looks like an offsides
40,
type penalty.
May have offsetting, maybe.
Yep. Let's see. Here's the call by the official.
Offside on the kicking team. Personal foul. Number 6 on the defense. Those penalties offset. We will re-kick.
So we're going to like to re-kick. So we'll see the Lions tee it up once again.
We'll do it again. They get Jacksonville's Jaqueline Goodwin for a personal foul. That's not going to sit well with head coach Jason. I'm not sure what happened there. So offset, they'll kick it again. Brendan Richards for Jacksonville standing at his 10-yard line, and at the 20 on either side, Randy Searles and Didi Mares. If we talked about this last week, are you going to kick it to Searles?
Absolutely not.
Or Mares? No, you're not.
Eric Garza gonna fake this one again.
Yeah.
See the kickoff now, same spot. We're gonna have Searles come up, mishandles it, ball still on the ground.
Jacksonville got it. Yeah, Elijah Benavides, he bailed on that one and he pointed at Searles. Jacksonville's gonna get this football. Searles was too far back. When that ball was popped up, Searles has got to come up. He was watching Benavides because he thought Elijah's got this. Well, and all of a sudden Elijah turns around and points at, you got it. And Searles.
I kind of wonder if maybe we had a little game planning here too between the kickoffs, and Benavides was supposed to bail, and they just needed to cheat Searles up a little bit.
Yep. Well, he's got to start coming up so that in case Benavides drops it, he's right there. Nevertheless, Jacksonville football, they do recover.
So 1st and 10 for the Indians. Searles gets the handoff.
Good run.
A good run on 1st down. Searles going to pick up about 6. I think they're going to give him 7.
You know what you got to have right here? You got to have a few EAG Ford first downs.
We do.
You can't go 3 and out right here. You're down 14-0. There's still half the first quarter left to go. You've got to control the football almost the rest of this quarter, and you need to score. Get some confidence here.
Searles in the backfield with Clater once again. 2 receivers right for the Indians. 2nd and 3. Clater going to hand this one off to Searles. This time around the left side. Has a hole.
That'll do it.
Randy Searles gets past the defender. He's going to be dragged down about the 15, but a huge gain and a huge EAG Ford first down for the Indians.
Once again, that vision that Randy Searles has, and he's only a 10th grader, following his block and knowing exactly when to kick it down to 3rd gear. You saw him shift it down, takes off, gets through. They catch him from behind down to the Henderson 15-yard line. Another EAG Ford first down for the Fighting Indians.
Big run from Searles. And, we talk about, I'm sure they track explosive plays. That's kind of a key part of the game to get some momentum going your way. And Randy Searles delivers one there. He's still in the backfield with Clater. Brendan Richards out wide for the Indians. Clater takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Searles going to keep it himself. Met in the backfield, going to lose a couple.
Wow, he took a shot too.
He did.
The sophomore Clater for Jacksonville. He did a zone read, and I think he saw something. Well, he saw the defensive end obviously go with Randy Searles, and he kept it. And man, did he take a shot, loses a couple. 2nd down, 12 back to the 17. So offensive coordinator Danny Ramsey sending the play in via signal. So here's Jacksonville now 2nd down, 12 from the Henderson 17.
5 seconds on the play clock. 2 receivers left. Clater takes the snap. Going to throw for Gaskin. That one a little high. Not able to connect.
Just kind of sailed on him a little bit. Of course, Josh Gaskin, about 5'7". You got to kind of drop that down to him a little bit. And no pressure on Trent Clater. He just kind of sailed the football. But I'm telling you, even if Josh Gaskin catches that football, Ryan,
there was not much room.
He's not going very far because Henderson, they've sniffed it out and they were all over it. So 3rd down and 12 here for the Fighting Indians. They have to get down to the Henderson 5 to get a first down.
Searles in the backfield with Clater. Handoff goes to Searles. Has a big hole.
Yeah, baby!
Big play for Searles. Going to pick up a EAG Ford first down. I think he was maybe brought down about the 1.
Just short. So the Indians going with their NASCAR. They're hurrying, getting to the line.
1st and goal. Clater going to take the snap. Flags come in.
Thank
this one's
goodness.
Be blown dead.
Thank goodness the flags came in because Henderson sniffed that out. Searles was going to take a big loss right there.
They had about 3 guys in the backfield.
I like the call. I like the hurry up, catching Henderson off a little bit, maybe get a free play on an offsides. Maybe that's what happened here. They don't have very far to go, but it's going to be against Jacksonville, and that'll push it back 5 yards. So 1st and goal still. Let's see where they mark the ball. I think they'll mark it at the 6. Calvin Boyd will check in for Mike Taylor on the offensive line for Jacksonville. So back it up. Searles just missing getting into the end zone. And now with a 5-yard penalty, it's still 1st and goal at the 6 of Henderson. First train of the night, as you can hear in the background.
Searles in the backfield with Clater once again. Handoff goes to Searles, trying to find some room. No one there blocking for Jacksonville. They'd kind of created the gap, but Henderson had about 3 guys there to meet Searles, so that'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, Jacksonville's going to have to hold their block just a little bit longer. And like I said earlier, with the vision that Searles has and the power that Didi Mares has, you just got to stay on your block and give those guys a crease. Give your running backs just a little bit of space right there to get through. Searles has already done it so far on this drive. Just stay on your block longer. Henderson's getting off the block a little bit too quick.
Searles in the backfield. Gaskin also in the backfield with Trent Clater.
Timeout.
Looks like Jacksonville going to take a timeout. So we'll take it with them. 3:01 left. Jacksonville in scoring position. We'll be right back after a short break. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live. Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better.
Our one-of-a-kind mushroom Swiss burger is back.
And now it's an all-time favorite. You're going to love this burger. That au jus sauce on top.
The creamy au jus sauce.
Every bite's perfect.
It's not just a mushroom Swiss burger, it's a Whataburger mushroom Swiss burger.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. Jacksonville with a 2nd and goal. 3:01 left in the first quarter, and this is a very important set of plays here for Jacksonville, needing to find a touchdown.
They got 2nd goal at the 4.
Searles in the backfield with Clater. Going to have flags come in.
That's going to be against Jacksonville. Did not snap the ball, and 3 linemen were moving, and it's just a mess.
False start on Jacksonville.
So you had it 1st and goal at the 1 yard line. Still 2nd down, but you've lost 8 yards. Now you're at the 9.
Well, and a penalty killed the first drive. It's backing us up on this one. Jacksonville's got to figure out how to eliminate these penalties for the remainder of the game. So 2nd and goal from the 9. 2 receivers left for the Indians. Searles and Gaskin in the backfield with Clater. Clater going to hand this one off to Searles around the right side, trying to find a hole, and brought down by Keon Pelham.
Yeah, he's only going to get about a yard on that. I thought he had a little bit of a crease there, and the speed that Henderson has, they just close things down in such a hurry. They move very well laterally, and as I said earlier, Jacksonville has got to figure out a way, their offensive line does. They've got to lock up and stay on the blocks. Henderson's just getting off of them too quick. Just another half second, and Searles can get in space, and we know what he can do when he gets out in space.
So 3rd and 8 for the Indians. Clater takes the snap, going to keep it himself, has a hole down the right side, quickly met by several Henderson Lions, and that'll bring up 4th and goal for Jacksonville.
Interesting call there, just a zone read. I think that Jacksonville maybe felt that everybody was going to be keying on Searles, and they might catch Henderson not thinking about the sophomore quarterback Clater running. Well, they sniffed that out, so now we're going to see Casey Cardenas come out, and this is going to be a 25-yard field goal from the right hash. Toby Simpson snapping, Zeke Whitaker holding, as the Fighting Indians try to get on the board here with KC.
First field goal of the season for KC. Extra points and field goals brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee. This one not handled well. KC jumps on it, and Jacksonville will turn over with no points on that possession.
Good snap. Zeke just dropped it. I mean, hit him right in the hands. I'm gonna would y'all remind me to buy some Stickum for do they use Stickum anymore? We're gonna find some. I'm gonna get on Amazon and find some Stickum. We're gonna spray those hands down. Him and Brendan Richards, we're gonna hammer it. So no points after 1st and goal at the 1 yard line. Now, if you're Jacksonville defensively, you have got to step up right here. You can't go down 3 scores here as we get close to the end of this first quarter.
1st and 10 for the Lions. Howard going to keep it himself up the middle, going to pick up about 6.
This is a big offensive line that Henderson brings to Jacksonville tonight. I'm looking at those guys. I mean, it's 250, 240. There's 260 on the other side. They got some meat on the bones.
Henderson's got some big guys on the line. So 2nd and 4. Howard going to keep it himself. Flag comes in.
Should be against Henderson where they threw the flag here. Or are they going to get Jacksonville for offsides? Let's see the call. Yeah, it's going to be offsides. It looks like. Well, let's see. Official, no, he's going back. Or is he? Well, he's talking to Jason Holman like it's against Jacksonville, but it isn't. It's procedure. Illegal formation. Got to have 7 on the line. Must not have.
So illegal formation will back Henderson up. So we'll have 2nd and 9. 2 receivers each way for the Lions. Howard gets the snap, looking for Starling. This one a little high, incomplete.
Oh, boy, what a shot that the quarterback took from Mario Rodriguez, Jacksonville's junior linebacker. Coming off the edge, Ben Hoffmeyer, D.C., loves to send those linebackers off the edge like that. And, boy, he caught Vince Howard right after he released the ball. In fact, I think that's why it was incomplete. He had to hurry it up because he saw Rodriguez coming. 3rd down, 9. Get off the field, defense.
Howard looking to his right. This one down the field. Good coverage from Jacksonville. That one intended for Mason Jones, incomplete.
CJ, Chris Crockett with the coverage right there. Nice job, 4th down, and Henderson will punt for the first time. That's what you want to see right there, is get a stop after giving up. The first 2 drives resulted in touchdowns, and now Henderson will send their punter out on the field, a number 9 that we do not have on the roster, of course. Brendan Richards dropping back deep for Jacksonville with 44 seconds here remaining in this first quarter. Still 14-0 Henderson.
Big stop there for Jacksonville. 4th and 9. Henderson set to punt this one away. Gets it off clean. Wobbly punt over to the left side. Going to hit right about the 50. Jacksonville going to let Henderson kill this one just inside their 50. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Jacksonville from their own 48.
Well, it was a great stop going 3 and out right there after the disappointment of not able to get any points when you had it 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Boy, for your defense to come out and, change the tone and get a 3 and out, that's very important for this Jacksonville football team here in their home opener. To get a reset like that. Now let's see if Jacksonville offensively, after showing they can move the ball, obviously just didn't come away with any points on that last drive. Didi Mares now will come in as the coaches continue to alternate Searles and Mares at the running back position.
So Didi in the backfield with Clater. Zeke Whitaker out wide for Jacksonville. Handoff goes to Didi up the middle, and he's going to pick up about 3. Matt, they said they're changing the running backs out, which we've seen quite a bit. I personally would like to see some 2-back sets as well and get kind of both of those guys involved, and maybe a little trickery here and there, and see if we can kind of disguise who's getting the ball a little bit.
Sure. So Jacksonville's going to go ahead and bring their offense over and let this first quarter run out and switch ends.
So at the end of 1, Henderson leads Jacksonville 14-0. We'll take a short break and be right back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the satisfaction of a job well done, for the ideas that change the world, for good times, for not so good times, for her future and hers and his, for serving our customers and connecting communities. We're here with you for good. Austin Bank, with you for good.
Welcome back to the historical Tomato Bowl. second down for Jacksonville as they switch ends. Maybe even a little confusion. They're switching quarters. So we'll see Jacksonville with a 2nd and 7 to start this second quarter just across midfield. Didi Mares in the backfield with Trent Clater. Clater going to hand this one off to Didi.
Oh, wow.
Trying to get around the edge and brought down by Anthony Newman.
You know, Jacksonville is not going to be able to turn that corner. Searles might be able to do it a little bit, but it's going to be tough. Henderson has a lot of speed defensively, far more than Center did, and obviously more than Brownsboro. So it's going to be tough to get to the edge like that. A lot of the work's going to have to be done between the tackles, and that's really where Didi Mar's strength is. He really reads his blocks well, and he needs to consider that as he tries to bounce to the outside, that Henderson speed. So 3rd down, 8 to go for Jacksonville as they get everybody checked in here.
2 receivers right. Didi in the backfield with Clater. Clater going to drop back, looking over the middle. This one too far out in front of Zeke, incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down for Jacksonville.
Boy, I got to admire Trent Clater staying in the pocket like that. He had somebody coming right at him, and he just stood there, waiting for Zeke to make his break, and finally he just had to get rid of it, and that's why I led him just a little bit too much because Henderson had a blitz on the play. Their linebacker, number 5, was coming off the edge, Jordan Irvin, and now Casey Cardenas will come on the field for his first punt of the evening. Toby Simpson will snap.
So we'll see if KC can pin him deep. Good snap, comes back, flags come in.
Man, is this another procedure penalty against Jacksonville? It is. Wow. It's week 3. Still working some of the wrinkles out. Coach Holman, you can hear him maybe saying, watch the football. I mean, can't go when you want to. You got to go when that ball's snapped. So 5 yards back gives KC a little bit more room to angle punt this one. No.
High snap back. This one goes through the hands of KC, able to recover. This one low, bouncing in favor of Jacksonville.
What a play.
Really good recovery there from KC, and that'll give Henderson 1st and 10 from their own 35, but that could have been a disaster.
What a heck of a play by KC, man. That was, I mean, just to get rid of it. You could hear Coach Holman saying, kick it, because he scooped it up. That oblong ball bouncing everywhere. He did a nice job.
It was also a really fortunate bounce after it went through his hands. It almost just popped straight up where he could turn around and grab it, and really good heads-up play there from KC.
I mean, it wasn't a horrible snap over his head. The ball was a little high, and I don't think KC got both hands up. He tried to catch it with one hand. Got to go up with both. So they'll work on that. Here's Henderson.
1st and 10 for Henderson. Handoff goes to Starling around the right side. Jacksonville with a couple guys there trying to bring him down. Finally brought down, I believe that was Jordan Dorsey on the tackle.
Well, I got to bring it up because it's the best metaphor that I can call for Starling. It's like trying to tackle that wet piglet. I mean, that's exactly what he's like. He just kind of squirts through there. And
he is a slippery dude.
Yep. You think you got him, and then all of a sudden he pops you for 5 more. 2nd and 3.
Howard going to hand this one off to Starling, going to cut and go the other direction.
Look at that.
Big pickup there. Is going to give Henderson a 1st down. Starling, I don't know how he got out of there. He cut, turned, and there was no one there on that backside for Jacksonville.
Well, he just did a 360. I mean, Jacksonville had it well defended. The ball was coming to the left side, and Fighting Indians, Ty Lindsay stayed home. Calvin Boyd, nice job. They turned him, and he just stopped on a dime, spun, and went the other way. Gets the 1st down.
1st and 10 inside Jacksonville territory. 3 receivers left, 1 right for Henderson. This ball completed and then fumbled. Ball still on the ground. I think maybe Michael Miles was able to jump on it. Pass was complete to Lamarian Coleman. And then he lost a handle on it. Michael Miles
Jacksonville's going to get it.
And Jacksonville with the first takeaway of the ball game.
So Lamarian Coleman caught that little tunnel screen, And he got up in the Mixmaster, and I really didn't see anybody really hit him. I think Mike Miles was there, but all of a sudden the ball squirted loose. So we'll give Mike Miles the credit since he was right there, and Jacksonville fights for it, and they get their second turnover of the season, and it's a big one. The Fighting Indians unsuccessful earlier on that drive where they had such a good 3-and-out defensively. Now they get the turnover. So if you're Jacksonville's offense, you really need to make it happen right here. Searles checks back in the ball game at the running back position in the backfield.
1st and 10 for Jacksonville, 9:34 left in the second. Handoff goes to Searles, trying to get up the middle. Not much there for Randy Searles. He's going to pick up 2.
What's so important for Jacksonville offensively is not to get in the 3rd down and 8 situations. I mean, obviously they've struggled throwing the football in the first 2.5 games here almost, and you want to get 4 or 5 yards, 6 on that 1st down. They get 2 right there, 2nd and 8. So here's where you want to get 5 or 6 so that you got a makeable 3rd down running the ball.
2nd and 8, 1 receiver each way for the Indians. Clater going to hand this one off to Searles, trying to go up the middle again. Met at the line of scrimmage, going to pick up 2, but 3rd and 6 now for Jacksonville.
Clearly this is the most physical defense Jacksonville's faced. I know we're just in week 3, but these guys aren't center, I can tell you. Much more physical than that first week. So 3rd down, 6 to go for Jacksonville. Brendan Richards comes split to the right as the Indians with their 2 tight ends in the ball game, Holman and Thompson.
Gaskin in the backfield with Searles and Clater. Clater going to roll to his right, lets this one fly, almost picked off by Henderson.
Trying to get Cam Thompson, and boy, that was I don't know what was going on there, but you had Thompson, you had Brendan Richards, and you had Gaskin all in the route. They were all within about 3 or 4 yards of each other. So somebody did, I think it was designed for Thompson, the pass he caught last week against Brownsboro. Not sure why Gaskin was out there in the route, not sure Brendan Richards why he was there, but it brought all the defenders right there. So in 4-down territory here, Jacksonville will go for it on 4th down and 6 to go.
Searles in the backfield once again with Trent Clater. 2 receivers right for Jacksonville. Big 4th down play. Clater almost picked off. Trying to get it to Josh Gaskin. I think that was Lamarian Coleman able to break that one up. So Jacksonville will turn over on downs once again. And we'll see 1st and 10 from Henderson. But you really would have liked to have seen Jacksonville pick up a 1st down there after the turnover.
Well, you got to give credit to Henderson's defense. I mean, they've given up a lot of points in their first 2 ball games, but they came to play tonight defensively against Jacksonville, who's coming to the ball game 300 yards of rushing the football in the first 2 each in the first 2 ball games. They are shutting them down tonight so far.
Howard able to find his man. Benavidez trying to bring him down, finally brought down.
Murphy.
Jamario Coleman in on the tackle for the Indians.
Pick up 8, be 2nd and 2. What's so dangerous about Henderson, Ryan, is they're so good at that short passing game, and all of a sudden they'll pop a bomb on you. Blitz. Miles.
Howard going to hand this one off. Up the middle goes Justin Starling. And I'm not sure. I think they kept him short. I think it's going to bring up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, that's Jaden Bishop. As Starling's checked out, it's Bishop in the ball game, number 22 for Henderson. So Trevor Kind now will check in for Henderson. 3rd down, about 1.5 yards. Man, can you get off the field here, defense?
2 receivers right, 1 left. Howard going to hand this one off to Trevor Kind. Kind with a big run, still on his feet. And inside Jacksonville territory, going to get inside the Jacksonville 30. A big 1st down there for Henderson.
Just poor tackling. That's all you can say right there. Fighting Indians had several shots at him. Once again, Mike Miles coming off the edge, and he just couldn't get there as the ball went the other way, and Kind he just kept sliding down the field, and nobody tackling in those gold jerseys.
Howard going to hand this one off, actually keeping himself around the right side, still on his feet, and Howard going to scramble for the first down.
That'll push the football down to the 17 of Jacksonville. First down, Lions.
So 1st and 10 for Henderson inside the Jacksonville red zone. 6:08 and counting here left in the second quarter. 3 receivers left, 1 right for Henderson. Howard takes the snap, going to keep himself around the left side, has some room. Finally brought down by Kel Curl.
Curl came in to the game after hitting 7 tackles in his first start last week against Brownsboro. Zeke Whitaker was there initially, but Howard, really a strong runner. I mean, you look at him, and he's probably about $165. He's not that big, but, man, he is a physical runner on that zone read. 2nd down and about a yard.
2nd and 1. Howard going to hand this one off to Kind up the middle. Kind has the first down yardage inside the Jacksonville 5 and finally brought down about the 4.
So 1st down and goal for the Lions with 5:20 and counting in this second quarter. It's Fighting Indians on the short end of the stick right here. As you look at the defense out there, Ryan, hands on the waist, bending over, breathing, tired.
Calvin Boyd checked in for the Indians. This handoff is going to go to Jordan Irvin, and he is in for the score.
4-yard touchdown run by Irvin. 20-0 Henderson. Sometimes your best defense is a good offense. And tonight, Jacksonville has struggled offensively. I don't have the stats exactly, but I think Jacksonville may have, 5 first downs, maybe 4, if that many.
Yeah, if that many. This extra point is up and good from Ivan Navarro. So with 4:59 left in the first half, Henderson now leads Jacksonville 21-0. We'll take a short break and come right back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Come see us at Dairy Queen on South Jackson before or after every Fightin' Indian game to try our family favorites meal. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good. Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been servicing the Texas market with the finest quality fuels and lubricants. Each batch is crafted with precision and quality tested by our in-house lab. Whether you're on the road, on the farm, or on the job, we have the right product for your needs.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. Henderson set to kick this one off. Eric Garza in for the kickoff for Henderson. Henderson gonna fake the kickoff once again.
We get it. You're faking it. We get it. You don't have to do that again.
Until they don't, I guess.
Yeah.
So Garza gonna pooch this one over to the right. Fair caught by Jacksonville.
Nice job by Zeke over there. Notice the change in personnel. They got the linebacker at Benavides out of there, and they put Whitaker there. So Jacksonville will get decent field position with 4:59 remaining in the first half. Here at the home opener at Tomato Bowl.
Yeah, and if you're Jacksonville, you know there's under 5 minutes here left in the first half. It'd be really nice to go into the locker room.
Yeah.
With a score on the board.
It would. And it would make it even nicer for me to talk to Jason Holman at the half with a score on the board.
I agree with that as well. So 1st and 10 for Jacksonville from their own 38. One receiver wide for the Indians. Gaskin goes in motion. Handoff goes to Dede up the middle.
Nice
and
run.
A great pickup there from Dede. Going to get 9.
So the NASCAR working looked like, well, no, they're not doing it. I saw Jacksonville hurrying a little bit. 2nd down 1. Nice gain by Dede. I believe his best run of the night so far. If you can just,
I think so.
Yeah, if you can just keep yourself out of those, as I said earlier, those 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 situations and get 4 or 5 on 1st down or 2nd down.
So 2nd and 1. Dede in the backfield. Once again, he will get the handoff. Met behind the line of scrimmage, going to lose 1. We'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Got to stay in your block longer. Boy, 26 right there. Isaiah Vasquez. Boy, I mean, he just shucked the guy right off of him. Said, nope, you're not blocking me. And he went straight to Dede. Loss of about a yard and a half, maybe 2. 3rd down, a long 2 for now for Jacksonville. Boy, you don't see Dede get blown up in the backfield very often like that. Losing yardage. It happened that time.
So 3rd and 2, 2 receivers right for Jacksonville. Dede in the backfield with Trent Clater. Clater going to pull this one, looking for Gaskin.
Gaskin!
Has his man. Gaskin with some good yardage, going to pick up the EAG for 1st down and more. And a hit stick there on the sideline from Josh Gaskin.
Wow.
Whoo, man, that may be the bone crusher here of the game so far, Matt.
I'm telling you, no doubt about it. Gaskin out of the flat H-back position. I loved the patience that Trent Clater showed right there, waiting for Gaskin to get out and separate himself, fakes the block on the defensive end, and then gets out there and just floats it out there perfectly for Gaskin to get the EAG Ford 1st down to the 36-yard line of Henderson.
So 1st and 10 for the Indians, 1 each way. Handoff goes to Dede, trying to go up the middle. Met at the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to give him a gain of 1 on the play.
Jabron Myers just broke that up quickly. Stayed low, got under Dede, but Dede does get the good spot. Picks up a yard, 2nd and 9. As we'll go under 3 minutes to go in this first half. Jacksonville down 21-0. You got to come away with some points on this. You got to go into the half. You got to start feeling good about yourself and get some points on the board because you've missed a couple of opportunities earlier.
So 2nd and 9, 2 receivers left for the Indians. Clater going to get the snap, hands this one off to Dede. Dede trying to find some room. He's going to pick up a couple, but there's just not much running room there for Dede right now.
No, there really isn't. So just quickness by the Henderson defensive front. I mean, I thought Jacksonville's defensive front was quick. These cats can go. Henderson's going to make some noise in that 4A district, I can tell you.
They are. I think I heard they were picked to finish 4th.
Yeah, they picked them and Pine Tree to finish 4th. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Lindale, we'll see. It's going to be a tough district. You got Kilgore and Chapel Hill at the top, though.
3rd down for Jacksonville. Clater going to toss this one to Gaskin. Gaskin only able to pick up a couple. So it'll bring up 4th and 3 for the Indians. A good pickup there for Jacksonville. Just not quite enough on the yardage from Gaskin.
Ball came loose at the end, but the officials had already blown the whistle. So 4th and 3.
From the Henderson Lion 29-yard line.
What's your 4th and 3 call, Coach Ramsey, OC for Jacksonville? Clock is running. I think Jason Holman just mentioned to the official they're going to let it run down here, I think, and then he's going to call timeout maybe? Yep, official's nodding his head.
Probably a good call. I mean, you want to try to control the clock here. We're almost to halftime.
You don't want to.
You don't want to give Henderson too much time on the clock if you don't convert this 4th down, and it gives you some time to kind of plan out what you want to run on this 4th and 3. So Jacksonville will take a timeout. 1:24 left in the first half, and we'll take the timeout with them. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Passing the competition by leaps and bounds. The team of world-class specialists at Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute are experts in caring for bones, joints, and muscles. In addition to treatment, they also provide special programs designed to keep you in optimal shape and improve athletic performance. So whether you're a student athlete or a weekend warrior, they'll keep you at the top of your game. Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, taking orthopedic care a step further.
Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better. Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. Jacksonville with a 4th and 3, a minute 24 left here in the second quarter. Big play here for the Indians.
Returning to action, we have 4th down, 3 yards to go from the 29-yard line of the Henderson Lions.
Didi Mares in the backfield with Trent Clater. Clater going to fake the handoff, looking over the middle. This one just a little short, looking for Dante Simmons.
Clater just didn't put any air under that one. See, Dante Simmons had his guy beat and just floated up there and let Simmons run under it, and he's going to score. And Trent just kind of flattened his throw out, kind of like a slant, and it fell in front of Simmons. Good clock management by the Jacksonville coaching staff right there. I like the call. I like waiting for it and then trying to run as much clock. I even like the play call. It was great.
I thought the play call was great.
Yeah,
we just needed a completion.
Yep. Just got to float that out there a little bit more if you're Trent Clater and get it out there to your receiver. Let him make a play. So Henderson comes out with 118, and don't relax here if you're Jacksonville.
Jacksonville needs to get another stop before halftime. Deep ball over the middle. This one broken up. Kel Curl having a great game so far tonight.
Wow, Curl played that perfectly. Knocks it away.
Howard there looking for Lamarian Coleman. So they'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Lions. Only a couple seconds ticked off, though.
Not surprising, seeing Henderson after getting the stop. You're up 21-0. Take some shots downfield here. Why not? Test Jacksonville's defense, secondary.
3 receivers right, 1 left for the Lions. Howard
picked
looking
off!
over Brendan Richards with the interception for Jacksonville.
Yeah! Turnover number 2 for Jacksonville.
Big play for the Jacksonville defense.
So 1:04 remaining, and Jacksonville has 1 timeout remaining. Plenty of time with good field position at the 33 of Henderson. Yeah, just a nice play by Brendan, the senior. Stepping in front, jumping the route. I'm not sure that Vince Howard, who's thrown 2 interceptions coming into this ballgame, that's his 3rd. I'm not sure he was judging the speed of Richards when he jumped that route. So let's see if Jacksonville now will take a shot downfield and try to catch Henderson unaware.
Another big turnover for the Indians. 1st and 10. Clater looking for Didi. He finds him. Actually, that's Searles. Searles with a big pickup.
That's a flag. Oh,
Gets
no.
inside the Henderson 10. Flag does come in.
No way, sir. Oh, no. Got a flag on the play.
I think maybe they're calling lineman downfield. I'm not sure who was downfield, but I'm pretty sure I saw a lineman.
Coaches are questioning it. Oh, it was so well executed. I mean, great fake by Trent Clater, and then he throws to the other side to Searles. This one's coming back.
And
yep.
there's a receiver downfield, number 24.
Yeah.
On the other side, 5 yards.
Cam Thompson, the sophomore. What's that old saying about how many sophomores you play on the varsity? Danny Long used to tell me that all the time. I can't remember what it was.
I'm not sure what
it wasn't a good statistic. Okay? I mean, so they'll get Jacksonville. That's a huge penalty, man.
Yeah, penalties so far have been the kryptonite for Jacksonville in this first half. They've had several opportunities to score, or they've negated big plays, and there's one right there. So that'll bring up 1st and 15 after the penalty. 2 receivers right. Searles in the backfield with Clater. Clater looking over the middle. This one finds Zeke Whitaker with a huge catch. Gets Jacksonville down inside the 10.
Got to hurry. You got 1 timeout, and you don't want to burn it right here. You want to go ahead and run a play.
Indians from the 6-yard line.
Jacksonville just needs to calm down, wait for Cam to get in lined up.
Handoff goes to Searles, going to be met.
Oh, man, now you're going to have to call your timeout.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
I'm not so sure I might have. Man, you come to the line right there and you throw a fade route in that corner to Brendan Richards right there and see if he can go get it. But they chose to run the football with one timeout remaining. I'm not. That's a tough one. So the Fighting Indians burned their last timeout. Football at the Lion 7-yard line or 8-yard line.
The last day of work.
Yeah.
And Ryan, we've been here before tonight. Jacksonville had it first and goal at the 1. They've been in this the red zone several times tonight, and they've come away with no points. With 32 seconds and no timeouts, you got to be really careful right here. Fans, stay with us for the Whataburger halftime show. We'll have our All Smiles halftime interview with head coach Jason Holman, get his thoughts on the first half. I'm sure he's not going to be happy about a few things. Of course, the Jacksonville High School Band will be performing along with the Cherokee Charmers and the Twirlers performing as well.
Thank you to one of our Indian Maker sponsors, Whataburger.
Officials blow the whistle to bring both teams out now.
So 2nd and goal for the Indians as they retake the field. 32 seconds left before halftime.
Ryan, this feels like it's got to be play action right here.
I agree. I mean, you don't have any timeouts left. Unless you are confident that Dede is going to punch this one in. And we do see Clater rolling to his right. This one underthrown.
Picked off.
And Henderson going to pick it off at the 3.
Trent can't throw that one. He just can't. And that's okay. I mean, he's learning. He's getting coached up right now. And getting a pat on the head. He's learning. Frustrating, but he's learning.
Yeah, that's one where there's nothing there.
Yeah.
You just got to throw it away.
You got to throw it away, and you got to live to play another down. I mean, he threw it right in the middle of traffic, just trying to find somebody. I've been there, done. I know that feeling. You're just trying to make a play, and sometimes you just can't. You just got to throw it away. So the Fighting Indians, what is that? The 3rd time they've been inside the 10-yard line with no points. I believe that's right. 3. Or was that inside the other one, the 20? I think they got inside the 10 on the field goal, but they got some penalties that pushed them back where they didn't get the field goal attempt. So that's 3 penetrations inside the 10, no points.
So 27 seconds left. See what Henderson does here before the half. They're going to hand this one off to Starling up the middle, met immediately by several Jacksonville defenders, and I would think up 21-0, Henderson's probably content to just take this one to halftime.
Yeah, no doubt. Not only they're at their own 3-yard line too. I mean, you don't want anything crazy to happen right here, so they're going to let this run out and take that 21-0 lead at the half. Again, Fighting Indians have had some nice penetrations, just have not been able to come away with any points.
So that will do it for the first half of play. Henderson leads Jacksonville 21-0 at the half.
Head coach Jason Holman will be de-headsetting right now. We'll get his thoughts here in just a moment as we go into the Whataburger halftime report. Henderson's band getting ready to perform at the half, and it's always a good halftime performance when Henderson and Jacksonville get together. Still talking to one of his assistants. We'll get him here in just a second. Coach, you got inside the 10-yard line 3 times. Unfortunately, you didn't come away with any points. But, boy, you've shown you can move the ball. Henderson's really strong offensively, but the penalties are really hurting too.
Yeah. Well, we've got a young team. We're playing that way. All those mistakes are correctable. We've got to get our head. Defensively, we're struggling just reading keys. We got flustered because they made some plays. In those situations, you got to calm down. You just got to go back to your base teaching that we started on August 5th. And, offensively, obviously got to eliminate the mistakes, kicking ourselves in the butt.
Yeah, defensively, you knew that Henderson was going to try to take some shots downfield. They had. They've got a couple, but you responded really well, made some good defensive plays back there. Offensively, getting in those 3rd down and 8, 3rd down and 9 situations, and then with the penalties, making it 3rd and 11, that makes it tough.
Yeah, we've got to avoid all that stuff. We just got to stay on target on our drives and eliminate the little stuff. Kids got to grow up quick.
You get the ball the second half.
Yeah, I mean, got to get it, got to take it down, got to score, and get ourselves back in the ball game.
Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
Head coach Jason Holman on the All Smiles halftime interview. Guys, I'm going to toss it back upstairs, let you guys talk about some stats and things while the Henderson band performs, and then we'll come back down for Jacksonville's halftime performance.
All righty. Thank you, Matt. Welcome into the Whataburger halftime report. Before we get into some stats, let's go ahead and take a look at this week's Ask the Indians.
You belong with me. Shake it off.
It's a party.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
I don't know what Taylor Swift, I'll be honest. Right?
Oh.
Yeah, just cut that shit.
Nah, don't cut that out. Use that one.
Love story.
None. Absolutely none. I don't know what that is.
Ain't it shake it off?
Ain't Rick
Shake it off.
Ain't shake it off one up?
That's Miley Cyrus. Shake it.
Shake it off. That's good.
Go hard. Shake it off.
Fireworks? Did she make that song?
You got that. It's Katy Perry.
That's Katy Perry. Don't got one. Don't listen to her.
Cause baby, now we got.
Yeah.
All right, welcome into the booth for the Whataburger halftime report. You make the order, and Whataburger makes it fresh. And we're about to get into some stats that are brought to you by our good friend Randy Gorham. But first, Ask the Indians this week. We had a lot of Taylor Swift songs that were not Taylor Swift songs. If you didn't catch that, I had a couple Miley Cyrus, had a couple Katy Perry. Ask the Indians is a lot of fun. We hope you enjoyed that. And Todd, do you have some stats here from the first half for us to look at?
We do. So passing in first half, Trent Clater, 4 completions on 10 attempts for 78 yards with the 1 interception. Rushing, Randy Searles, 7 carries for 67 yards. Didi Morris, 10 carries for 19. Receiving, Elijah Whitaker had the 1 catch there at the end for 31. Searles had 1 catch for 24, and Josh Gaskin had 2 catches for 23 yards.
Yeah, we finally started seeing a little bit of passing open up for Trent Clater at the end of the first half. We've been kind of waiting for that the past several games. We've gotten a couple here and there, but you can't just hand it off to Didi or Randy Searles every play and expect them to just continue to get yardage. I mean, it's real easy for the defense to stack the box and kind of kill your run game, so you have to have a more balanced approach, and we kind of started to see that a little more towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, I think they were loading the box pretty heavy there, because when they're making the tackle, we try and break off the end of the line, and 3 guys are tackling us. Yeah. So, like Matt said, there's a lot of speed on the defense there. So
there's a lot of speed, and they've done a really good job too on defense getting into the backfield quickly. We've seen that several times where the guys are getting met behind the line. And we didn't really see that a lot during center. We didn't really see that a lot last week during Brownsboro.
No, we didn't.
And the offensive line they're putting in the work every play when you're running the ball as much as we are, and for them to allow some of those guys to get into the backfield. I mean, we haven't really seen that a lot, but I mean, you can't really put too much on them, because I mean, they're working their butt off right now.
They are, but I kind of think the run blocking for them is probably easier than pass. You're meeting the defensive lineman there. You're making the attack rather than standing up and letting them come to you. But yes, I think we may be outnumbered on the line with the defense kind of
it appears
getting up on us, and so.
Well, do we have any stats for Henderson here?
Some Henderson stats?
Yeah, let's look at some Henderson stats.
All right, their quarterback Howard had 7 completions on 12 attempts for 91 yards with the 1 interception, which was definitely a bright spot for us there. I was glad that Brendan was able to make that catch and have a good return on it.
Well, and that was one of 2 turnovers that we saw in the first half, and so many times I'm not even – Matt would have to tell what the turnover margin was last year, but it was horrible, and it was not in Jacksonville's favor. So far, I mean, I think we were +1 in the turnover battle last week. So far, we're +2 tonight. We've done I say that we threw a pick there right at the end, so I think we're +1 now on the game. But so far, a really good job from Jacksonville of keeping possession of the football and not turning it over. We saw a little bit in that first half in center. I don't know that we turned it over, but maybe once in the second half. So I think we've kind of ironed out a lot of the turnovers that we were seeing from the Jacksonville offense. And defense is doing a great job right now creating turnovers as well. We saw last week, I think Jacksonville maybe dropped 3 picks, potential interceptions that were not able to be brought in. And we've seen one that did not get brought in from Brendan Richards, but he corrected it on the second one and was able to get a huge interception and kind of get the ball back in Jacksonville's hand with a really good opportunity to score, because I believe we started that drive inside the 30.
We did. Mm-hmm. So rushing for Henderson, they had 5 different backs carry the ball. Starling is the main back, 6 carries for 46 yards and 2 touchdowns. The quarterback Howard had 4 carries for 34 yards. Trevor Kind had 2 carries for 32. Jordan Irwin, 1 carry for 4 yards. And Jaden Bishop, 1 carry for 1 yard.
Yeah, and Jordan Irvin, we only saw him carry the ball, I think, the one time but
went in for the touchdown.
Got in for the touchdown. And when he came on the field, he has a lot of size. We saw a big back last week that really only had 1 carry for Brownsboro. We were kind of surprised he did not play more. But he's Cam Thompson size. Cam Thompson is a pretty big dude for Jacksonville, and he came in the ball game, and they look like they're pretty similar in size, and he's a lot bigger than what we've seen from Starling. Starling has had a lot of success running the football in the first half. He's had some really big plays, and they've done a really good job of having a balanced attack too, we've seen a lot of success from Henderson throwing the short pass out to the flat and then picking up a huge gain after that.
They've got some athletes, when they catch the ball, they can make a play.
So we've seen quite a bit of that. But, maybe we haven't seen as much of Starling. He's got 2 touchdowns on the night, which I think one of them he punched in from the 1 or 2, and then one of them was a bigger run. But, yardage-wise, I don't think he's quite as active tonight as what he has been through the first 2 games. And I think Jacksonville's done a pretty good job containing him in the first half for the most part.
That one he kind of broke. We had him contained for probably no gain, and he just spun, and what did he get, 14, 15 yards on that play? Just a phenomenal play.
You don't see many high school running backs making that play. I don't think either. He cut and then spun, and it was almost, there was no difference between the speed when he cut and when he just accelerated so quickly out of that you saw him just find a huge gap and went for a big run down the sideline. Any other stats that we need to look at here?
For the team, first half we have 150 total yards of offense, but you talked about converting first down. So for third down efficiency, we're 2 out of 9, and fourth down 0 for 4 so far. So
yeah, and we didn't come out and get the first down, which we would like to see on every drive, because it just helps get you some momentum and get you into the drive, gets your defense some time off the field as well, because they're not coming in after 4 plays. And
especially
you don't
with
get
that
into
one where they had tried a trick play on their kickoff, and we had the ball started on their end. So great field position.
Yeah, it also helps you not get into those third and fourth down situations quite as often, where you're trying to convert to then pick up the first down. I think a lot of the rushing in the first half came from Searles on that one drive where he had some really big runs. Other than that, they've done a pretty good job defending the run. So we're gonna have to figure out how to kind of work around that. We saw a little bit of passing there towards the end that was having some success.
Play to Searles, and then we had a penalty that wiped it out.
So the penalties have been a big killer for Jacksonville in the first half. If they can clean that up for the second half, that would be tremendous, because right now they're kind of killing themselves more than they are getting beat. So hopefully we'll see in the second half Jacksonville kind of clean up some penalties. And, I think that's something that's going to have to be addressed throughout the rest of the non-district schedule. You got next week against Athens, and then you start district against Nacogdoches here in 2 weeks at home. And we're playing in a 5A district this year. You moved up a division, so you're going to have some tough competition in district, and it's going to be really important to not, shoot yourself in the foot whenever you're having a really good drive or getting into the red zone, and then the penalties back you up. I mean, we had 1st and 1, and then end up with like 4th and 9 or something because of penalties, or 4th and 11, something in that ballpark. And that's just not what you want to see if you're the Jacksonville offense and Jacksonville coaching staff, because it's little things like that. It's the details that can be the difference between you winning or losing. So keys for the second half.
I know we were trying. The kids were excited.
They were.
We're down there in position. We were trying to do a hurry up and take advantage of the short, and we just didn't get set. And so it's.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the danger of the hurry up as well, is that you've got to get everybody set.
Sure everybody's set for
you see it in the NFL, you see it in college. It's not like it's unheard of that it happens, but when you're trying to go fast, especially when you're not typally moving that fast, it's real easy to not have everybody set and snap the ball and somebody move, and it's just one of those things you gotta work on and make sure everybody is set. That's a big job on Trent Clater too, is just making sure everybody's set before you call to snap the football.
Yep.
Keys for the second half. We've kind of talked about a lot of stuff here.
Reduce turnovers reduce the penalties has got to be number one.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I kind of mentioned it to Matt there a second ago, but I think it would be really good. I don't even know if this is in our playbook currently, but I think it'd be really good to get both Searles and Dede on the field at the same time, because if you get some misdirection in there, and it's not like, if they're running the football, it's going to one of these backs. You get some misdirection. You can kind of have Searles go one way, Dede go the other, have one block for the other. You create some situations where it's not just, they're handing it to Dede and he's going to run up the middle or try to bounce it to the outside, and just give some mix to who's actually the one that's going to get the ball and who they're keying on defensively.
I think the way we're lining up too, it's pretty predictable what the play is going to be. It's kind of, if he lines up to the right side of Trent, well then he's going to try and take the handoff and go left side of center, whether it's up the middle or out to the side. And so I agree, we need to mix it up a little more, maybe put both the guys in there and get a little more variety in it. So, but hopefully the passing will come together. We did have a few good opportunities there at the end, and it looked better.
And we've had some really good routes run. Trent's just not connected with him on a couple of those passes. And he threw a really nice touch ball to Gaskin on one of the plays where we had a big gain. He threw a really nice ball to Searles that ultimately got called back. He threw a really great ball to Zeke that Zeke went up and made a play on.
There.
Yeah, and that's not something that we've seen through the first two games.
No, because the defender was on him. He was in position, and Zeke made the play. So yes, that was been nice if he'd kept his feet and went on in. A few more steps and it was a touchdown. So.
Yeah, so I think if Trent can continue to build that confidence in the pocket and really hone in on, I've got to throw this pass for this route, and kind of get some keys in there to where he's got something to go off of, instead of trying to look at where the receiver's going. I mean, we're running routes. It's not like it's a mystery of what the play is for these guys. So ultimately, Trent knows where the guy should be, and he's just got to be able to figure out what throws he needs to complete for those routes that the guys are running.
Yes, and like we saw too, he needs to know, kind of figure out when to throw the ball, because sometimes
it's not there and you can't force it.
Don't force it. Yeah, don't try and make the play happen when there's three guys out there on us. Just throw it away and let's regroup for the next play. So.
The Henderson band has been standing here for about 10 minutes, so I don't exactly know what is going on at halftime. I don't know if we're having some issues with music or what, but hopefully they will get that sorted out. Anything else? I mean, we've talked about a lot of stuff. The penalties is going to be the big thing for Jacksonville in the second half, and they get the ball first too.
And for me and you, I think we were disappointed not to see KC get his first field goal attempt. We lined up and just mishandled the snap there, didn't get the hole down. So I was hoping he'd get an opportunity to kick it there.
Yeah, because that was the first attempt he's even had. We haven't even lined him up for one the first couple games, and
it's always a confidence builder, even if you miss to get the snap
and
down.
That was going to be a close one.
Yeah, or he had,
good chance to.
Yeah, it was a 35-yard field goal, I think, and it would have been a really good opportunity for KC to get his first field goal of the season, and really his first field goal ever, because this is the first year he's played football.
Kicked,
so it would have been great to see KC be able to put that one through. Unfortunate that you didn't get the hold down, and hopefully that we can get that ironed out, because ultimately it may come down to KC in some of these games later in the season, and you got to have the reps in game. It's a lot different at practice when you're doing it versus being in a game situation and lining up for a field goal. So hopefully he'll get some more opportunities and we can see him put a couple through.
I hope so.
All right, well, we're going to step away and take a break for just a minute while Henderson finishes up their halftime show, and then we will send it down to the field for the Jacksonville halftime performance.
Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
I'm Matt Montgomery. For over 40 years, my business has helped people manage their money and organize their financial life. I'm a registered investment advisor with the state of Texas and chartered financial consultant. Whether you need portfolio management or comprehensive financial planning, I can help you. Call me for a free consultation. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
Gene Brumlow, class of 66, and his daughter Ann Farmer proudly support Jacksonville athletics. Come on over to the South Jackson Dairy Queen and get one of their world-famous blizzards. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Tonight's game statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy Gorham, CPA, the source for your accounting and income tax needs since 1984.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the satisfaction of a job well done, for the ideas that change the world, for good times, for not so good times, for her future and hers and his, for serving our customers and connecting communities. We're here with you for good. Austin Bank, with you for good.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl and the Whataburger halftime report. Jacksonville's band and Charmers and Majorettes are now about to take the field, so I'll throw it down to Matt Montgomery.
Thank you, Ryan. We are at halftime where Henderson leads Jacksonville by a score of 21-0 here in the home opener at Tomato Bowl, and nothing better than the Cherokee Charmers now performing with the Jacksonville band playing behind them. Let's listen in.
Charmer Sergeants for the 2024 to 2025 school year are Sergeant Kirstine McDaniel, Kaylee Galvan, Sergeant and Chaplain Melody Scruggs, Head Sergeant Hazel Modesto. Charmer officers are First Lieutenant Ashton Washburn, Senior Lieutenant Andrea Hernandez, and in the center, your captain, Rebecca Orr. Charmer of the week is Olivia Gary. Watch now as the Charmers perform to You Shook Me All Night Long.
Another outstanding performance by the Cherokee Charmers, led by their captain, Rebecca Orr.
The Charmers are under the direction of Cassidy Pinkston and Tiffany Alexander. Ladies and gentlemen, the award-winning Cherokee Charmers. This week's Charmer Teacher of the Week is Mr. Kearney. We'd also like to thank a few of our sponsors tonight: Save Plastics Inc., Rocking Land Services, and Raw Iron Gym. And now, introducing the Jacksonville Indian Majorettes, directed by Brian G. Officers are Senior Lieutenant Angeles Grimado, First Lieutenant Andrea Tavera, and your Captain, Juliana Salazar. Twirler of the Week is Gisela Casas. Watch now as the twirlers perform an exciting box routine to Boogie Shoes. And now, JISD is proud to present the Jacksonville Fighting Indian Band. The band is under the field direction of junior drum majors Abby Barrier, Anaja White, and senior drum major Logan Fontenac. Featured twirler is Adriana Munoz. The band will perform Piano Philharmonic Fanfare and New Colonial March. Now, at the center of the field, one of the most decorated military marching bands in the state of Texas. That classic look, that awesome sound, that cry heard across the land. The Jacksonville Fighting Indian Band. The Fighting Indian Band is under the direction of Donnie Barrier, Iliana Aguilar, Austin Nelson, Catherine Barrier, Kim Beard, and Brianne G. Freshmen of the week are Van Tomlinson. Band members of the week are Kara Vitka. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jacksonville Fighting Indian Band.
Hello.
I'm here, Matt.
There we are. Jacksonville High School Band wrapping up the Whataburger halftime show. We'll call it show. It's a report, but we're going to call it a show since the band performed. Charmers, drill team. Looked like Jacksonville won the halftime again.
I mean, I would think so.
Maybe I'm a little prejudiced.
I don't know. I know Henderson was having some issues up here. They stood there for a
long time.
Good while.
Long time.
Did the band even perform?
Barely. They
Okay.
got one small thing and they had to get off the field because it was running up on 10 minutes, and they needed to get off to give Jacksonville a chance. So running a little bit late. That's okay. So Henderson now coming out there, run through Jacksonville, about to come out. Fighting Indians will get the football to start the second half after the deferral. And boy, I mean, you just gotta hope that Jacksonville can do something on that first drive and set the tone in the second half. You know, they did that last week against Brownsboro, and they had a good second half against Center, even though they lost the game. But they were down 32-0 at the half. That's worse than 21-0 here to Henderson, who I think is much better than Center.
Yeah, and you know, so far Jacksonville's been a second half team, so hopefully we can see a spark coming out of halftime from this Indians team. We talked a little bit at halftime about just coming out with some fire here to start the second half, get the ball first, come out, get the first down, and try to get some momentum going on a drive.
Very important.
We saw a little bit of balance, too, towards the end of the first half. We saw Trent throwing a little bit more than what we saw, or what we've seen really through the first quarter and through the first two games. He was able to find a couple of completions there, and I really think Jacksonville is going to have to find some balance in the offense, maybe even a little more than what we saw there at the end of the second half, or at the end of the second quarter, excuse me. Because they are really keying on Jacksonville's running backs right now.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to offensive coordinator Danny Palmer at the half and asked him what his impressions were at the halftime, and he said the kids are just thinking too much. He said if they'll just execute and not try to process every single movement and just go with it. And, of course, Danny Palmer's been a head coach at two different places, Waco High, Tomball High, so he's been a head coach at the high level, and he understands it. And I asked him, by the way, also, do we have any packages with Searles and Dede in the ballgame at the same time? He said, no, not at this time.
Okay.
So we're set to go here. Second half, Jacksonville versus Henderson, the 87th meeting. Here's the kickoff. Well, a fake kickoff. Stop it. Quit doing that.
So Eric Garza in to kick this one away for Henderson. Get us underway here in the second half. Garza going to pop this one up to the left side, going to go out of bounds at the Jacksonville 35. So Jacksonville will get some good field position after the kick out of bounds to start this third quarter.
It's pretty clear that Henderson does not want to kick the ball deep. They haven't done that yet tonight. They have kept everything short and high.
Jacksonville's got some dangerous returners back there, Matt. I wouldn't kick it deep either.
They've seen the return game for Jacksonville. They don't want to take that chance. So sophomore Trent Clater will bring his offense out to open up the second half. So they'll mark this one here. Where's he going to mark it? Boy, Henderson's defense is way back there. They need to come on up. There they go. I guess they thought it was going to be a 15-yarder because they were at midfield. So Jacksonville will start at the 38. Dede Mars in the backfield for Jacksonville to get the start in the second half at running back.
Two receivers left for the Indians. Gaskin in motion. Clater going to hand this one off to Dede. Met immediately, but spins out of it. Now trying to find some room. And a big loss on first down for Jacksonville.
Boy, nobody blocked. Is that Keem Pelham? He just came in untouched. I'm not sure if Henderson had a stun on or just somebody on the offensive line just whiffed, because as soon as Dede got the ball, Pelham was right there in front of him. I mean, Dede got out of his tackle, circled back, ended up losing about 7. Call it 6, second and 16. Not a good start.
Two receivers left for the Indians. Clater going to hand this one off to Dede again. Dede trying to find some room. Going to pick up a couple.
Yeah, nice run. Gets the loss back. Uh-oh. We got somebody down. Man, that would look like friendly fire right there as Dede when he was going down, looked like he cut one of his own offensive linemen right there. Let's see who that is as they check him out. Let's take a break and come back.
All right, while they check out the injured player, we'll step away. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
We'd like to say thank you to tonight's team meal sponsor, Chick-fil-A. Thank you for your valued support of Jacksonville Athletics.
Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. Injured Indian able to get off under his own power, so that's good to see.
Jamario Coleman. Good to see that. 3rd down 11.
Zeke goes in motion.
Gosh, oh moly.
Snap was slow to come back. I believe we're going to see false start here on Jacksonville.
Yep. Slow snap. Didn't get back. It's 3rd down, all right. 3rd down 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a little too excited considering it's our 3rd down.
It's our 3rd down.
So 3rd and 16.
They might have jacked Henderson
no,
up.
3rd and 20. It says 21 on the
scoreboard.
scoreboard.
It's 3rd and 18.
That's not right.
3rd and 18.
Clater takes a snap, looking to unload, takes a shot.
Golly,
trying to find Dante Simmons.
Oh, man.
That'll bring up 4th down for Jacksonville, so they'll bring Casey in to punt this one away.
Trent Clater just had some dental work done.
He did. That was some composure to stand in the pocket for as long as he did and deliver that pass, though.
He popped right back up, cool as a cucumber, and walks off the field unfazed. So Jacksonville goes 3 and out. Here's KC to punt.
Good snap back. KC rolling to his right, low punt. This one going to bounce and go out just outside the Henderson 30. They're going to mark it at the 31, so that'll give Henderson a 1st down inside their territory.
I don't think the referee saw it. I did. That ball hit off the shoulder of a Henderson player. And
it was really low coming off of Casey's foot.
That's why it went to the sideline so fast. It hit off his shoulder and popped over. And Jacksonville could have it was going so fast they probably couldn't catch it because it was going out like a missile. But, that was a low punt. So here's Henderson. With their first offensive possession, they'll start it at their own 31.
3 receivers right, 2 left, empty backfield for the Lions. Howard going to keep it himself. Nice. Immediately met in the backfield. Jordan Dorsey. Didn't hear a lot of Jordan Dorsey in the first half, but a huge loss, a huge tackle, huge loss there.
Well, I'll tell you, Jordan Dorsey, after playing 2 heck of a ball games against Center and Brownsburg, Henderson had number 16 of Jacksonville marked on their game plan, and he was quiet, but he makes the sack there.
Howard going to pitch this one out to Starling. Trying to get around the right side. Jacksonville with good pursuit.
Nice job by Zeke Whitaker. Nice. Also, Elijah Harris. I'll tell you what, that is a candidate for the
Bone crusher.
Dark chiropractic bone crusher hit of the game there. Elijah Harris with a solid tackle on Starling. 3rd down 8.
3rd and long. Howard going to drop back, looking to his left, going to find his man, breaks a tackle, and Jacksonville is not going to catch him. Lamarian Coleman in for the score.
And, Jacksonville didn't have bad coverage right there.
They really didn't.
They were right there, and it was just terrible tackling. Coleman caught the ball, got spun around, and Jacksonville just stopped tackling him because they thought, oh, he's down. No, he's not. You got to get his back on the ground. He turns around and he goes 69 yards for the score.
Extra point brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee is up and good. So Henderson now leads Jacksonville 28-0, 8:55 left in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break and be right back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Gene Bromlow, class of 66, and his daughter Ann Farmer proudly support Jacksonville athletics. Come on over to the South Jackson Dairy Queen and get one of their world-famous blizzards. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Tonight's game statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy Gorham, CPA, the source for your accounting and income tax needs since 1984. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. 8:55 here left in the third. Henderson finding another touchdown here, Matt.
Just a slant route. Henderson looked like they were just trying to, throw a little inside route, get the first down, and Jacksonville just didn't tackle. And Coleman, a very physical receiver, just spun out of the one tackle and said, hey, you're not going to get me down, and he just took off from about the 40. Jacksonville's got a late guy coming on the field right there, Benavides, so he's on the field with the fake kickoff again.
Garza set to kick this one away for the Lions.
And they find him.
Dede comes up, fields the kickoff, makes a move inside, going to be brought down about the 35. Good job there from Dede, though, coming up and catching that football.
Yeah, that's what Searles did not do. We talked about earlier in the first half. And again, a 10th grader in Benavides and another 10th grader in Searles. This is a young Jacksonville football team. We are seeing that in these first three ball games. If people will just hang in there with this program in Jacksonville, the 8th grade beat Lufkin Tuesday night 8-6. The freshmen beat Henderson 38-6 last night here at Tomato Bowl. There's some cats coming, but they're young in this varsity level right now.
Richards in motion. Flag comes in.
Another procedure call.
Penalties are killing Jacksonville on offense.
They're going to get Javon Rangel there. That is not a sophomore. Javon's a senior.
So 1st and 15 after the penalty now for Jacksonville. Looks like Searles in the backfield with Clater. Brendan Richards out wide for the Indians. Isaac Suarez Mosley looks like on the other side for Jacksonville. Clater going to hand this one off to Searles, trying to get around the edge. Nothing there for Searles. Met quickly by the Henderson defense.
Yeah, that's that Logan White, the move-in from Houston. Klein Forrest with the tackle, a very physical tackle. Just no yards all, actually about a loss of a yard right there. Searles trying to turn the corner, couldn't get there. Cam Thompson will check out. Josh Gaskin will come in at the H-back as the Fighting Indians shift from that 2 tight end, 1 tight end set, take that guy, put an H-back in there for another kind of package. Twins out to the left.
2 receivers left for Jacksonville. Clater going to hand this one off to Searles, trying to find some room, and Henderson's D-line is getting very quick off the ball.
So quick. The speed tonight definitely goes to the Henderson Lions, particularly their defense. They are just so fast.
Looks like Searles maybe lost his shoe, so Dede will check back into the game for Jacksonville.
You look up front, they got number 5 there, just long and lean, and
26 on the right defensive end. 75 there is about 260, 250. Quick. They're a handful tonight for Jacksonville's offense. An offense coming in the ball game that, like I said, 300 yards rush in the last 2 ball games. Not tonight. Had 150, I believe, at the half in total offense to Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
Third down.
And long.
A long way to go. They say 15, but it's more like 3rd and 18. Scoreboard says that. So officials now calling procedure, illegal formation on Jacksonville. Declined by Henderson. Coaches all saying, what?
I didn't even know a flag came in.
I didn't either.
So 3rd and long for Jacksonville. 2 receivers left. Dede in the backfield. Clater going to flip it out to Dede. Quickly met by a host of Henderson Lions. He's going to lose a couple, and that'll bring up 4th and long.
Horizontal is not going to work tonight on Henderson. You got to go vertical. If you try to go outside like that, they're going to run you down.
4th down, 16 yards to go for the fight.
But this is a good look for Jacksonville tonight. This is good for them to see this kind of speed that Henderson has brought to Tomato Bowl because, guys, it's not going to get any easier when you get in that 5A district. When you're looking at Marshall and White House. White House, by the way, is beating Chapel Hill 12-0 at the half.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious.
High snap. Going to go over the head of KC.
Fall on it. Fall on it. Oh, no.
Knocked out of the way.
Touchdown.
Henderson's going to recover.
That's a heads-up play by somebody for Henderson. Didn't get the number, but he took KC out. KC,
he did.
He was trying to get on that football for the safety, and that guy took him out. And here comes another guy that gets the recovery.
Yeah, that's one you just have to kick out of the back of the end zone when you get back there.
Yeah.
KC trying to fall on it, not able to do that. And Henderson capitalizes on the botched punt attempt. So Ivan Navarro in to attempt the extra point for Henderson. Snap is good, kick is up and good. So the score now, Henderson leads Jacksonville 35-0, 6:22 left in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a short break and come right back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the satisfaction of a job well done, for the ideas that change the world, for good times, for not so good times, for her future and hers and his, for serving our customers and connecting communities. We're here with you for good. Austin Bank, with you for good.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. 6:22 here left in the 3rd quarter. Henderson now leads Jacksonville 35-0. Eric Garza in to kick this one away. No fake this time, Matt. High ball over to Dede on the near sideline. Dede has some room to run, and he's going to get out across the 40. So pretty good return there for Dede.
You know, it's 35-0, and the 5 touchdowns that Henderson has scored, 2 of them were like all Henderson. You can't do anything about that. 3 of them, Jacksonville just made mistakes. Didn't tackle. Obviously, the snap over the head right there. And then you have to add in the fact that Jacksonville's been inside Henderson's 10 3 times and did not score. That takes an emotional toll on you when you don't get it in the end zone. You don't get the points after working so hard to get down there. So, again, just 35-0. You can explain it any way you want. It is what it is. You're down 35. And now you just got to figure out a way to play your game because there's no one play 35 points.
Clater going to hand this one off to Searles.
There you go.
Good pickup on 1st down for Randy Searles. Going to gain about 5. Bring up 2nd and 5. Under 6 minutes here left in the third quarter.
Yeah, this is not too much different than the center game when you were down 32-0 at the half. You just there's no 32-point plays. You got to come out and just keep chipping away, keep playing hard, keep getting better, cut out the mistakes.
And it's still non-district. Like, this is definitely time to work on what we can work on.
Yeah, I mean, no excuses. Jacksonville has not played well tonight. They've made so many mistakes that you can't stay with a team like Henderson committing those kind of mistakes.
Clater going to hand this one off to Searles. Good spin move from Searles. Gets the edge. Flag comes in. Going to be dragged out of bounds.
Man.
Looked like maybe a face mask that they did not throw a flag on. So.
I think it's a hold. I mean, it just came in at that place where Searles was running and nobody was by him, and nobody's around him. And then all of a sudden, here comes the flag.
Penalties have been the killer tonight for Jacksonville.
Just a killer. And it was behind the play. Holding.
On the offense, number 24. It's 10 yards.
Cam Thompson with the hold. Cam's having a night.
So it'll be 10 yards from the spot. So that'll give 2nd and 9 for Jacksonville.
Just trying to get in the blocking scheme, did Cam, and just held somebody. I think. I didn't see it.
Searles in the backfield with Clater. Clater going to hand this one off to Searles, this time around the left side. Searles breaks a tackle.
Wow.
Good hard run there from Randy Searles. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1.
Just made so many good moves right there. He was dead to rights in the backfield. They had him, and he just threw a hip here and a hip there and put his head down and kind of slid sideways through there. And before you know it, he picks up 8 yards to make it a more makeable 3rd down and 2.
It's 3rd and 1. One receiver left for Jacksonville. Clater going to hand this one off to Searles, trying to find some room. Almost immediately met by the Henderson defense. Going to lose a couple on the play. They'll bring up another 4th down for the Indians.
Yeah, he'll lose about a yard on that play. Tried to bounce that one out like the other ones. That he's bounced a few out and made some plays. Not that one. Yeah, this is a very fast Henderson defense. They can move. So here comes KC Cardenas on 4th down and 2, and Jason Holman's going to punt the ball. Good snap.
Good snap back to KC. Rolls to his right. Good kick. Fielded by number 9 for Henderson around the right side. A big return here for the Lions. Finally knocked out of bounds about the Henderson 36.
We don't have number 9 on our roster.
Do not have
Sorry
number
about
9
that.
on the roster.
Good read by Henderson as the angle punt was fielded right on the fly. So I don't know what Henderson saw right there, but the guy was right there. As KC trying to angle it down the sideline. He caught it on the fly, made a nice return. 3:10 remaining in the 3rd. Here in Jacksonville, the home opener. Not a good one so far.
3 left, 1 right for the Lions. Howard going to keep it himself. A really good run here from the Henderson quarterback. Going to pick up a 1st down.
Wait a minute, did he lose the ball?
I think,
Said he was down.
It looked like it. Looks like they're going to say he was down, so he'll pick up the 1st down, get inside Jacksonville territory. We do have an injured Indian on the ground.
Yeah, got a cramp. Curl made the tackle, and as soon as he made it, he popped up and fell down. Let's take a break. He's getting his cramp worked out.
While they check on Kel, we'll take a break. Come right back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Passing the competition by leaps and bounds. The team of world-class specialists at Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute are experts in caring for bones, joints, and muscles. In addition to treatment, they also provide special programs designed to keep you in optimal shape and improve athletic performance. So whether you're a student athlete or a weekend warrior, they'll keep you at the top of your game. Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, taking orthopedic care a step further.
We'd like to say thank you to tonight's team meal sponsor, Chick-fil-A. Thank you for your valued support of Jacksonville Athletics.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the satisfaction of a job well done, for the ideas that change the world, for good times, for not so good times, for her future and hers, for serving our customers and connecting.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. Henderson with a big first down on the last play. Kel Curl able to walk off under his own power. This handoff goes to the left side. Pretty good gain there for Jaden Bishop.
Yeah, he called Starlin, but that's not him. That's Jaden Bishop. Mario makes the tackle for Jacksonville. Mario Rodriguez, the junior. I'm not sure we'll see much of Starlin the rest of this ball game.
Two each way for the Lions. Howard looks to his right, finds his man. Brendan Richards in on the tackle. The pass complete to Coy Freeman.
Pass is complete to number 18, Coy Freeman. He's brought down by number 4.
That'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Gain of about 5 yards. Third down, 2 yards to go.
Push it to the Jacksonville 37. There you go. Oh, no, there's a dribbler.
Snap, dribbles back.
Wait.
Looks like they're going to blow this one dead.
Why did you blow it dead?
Dorsey.
Jason Holman wants to know. The guy snapped the ball and he dribbled. There's no procedure there.
And Dorsey was...
Jason Holman is asking the official, why did you blow it dead? They snapped the ball and it just dribbled back there. There was no procedure there. No, I don't know why he blew his whistle and called it dead. That does not make sense.
And Dorsey, I thought, read that really well. He was quick off of it, saw that the ball was snapped, and was back there to make the sack. Going to call a false start on the offense.
Well, it should be fourth down and about fourth and about 6, or fourth and about 4. Fourth and about 4. He lost a couple yards there.
Yeah.
But now they gave him an extra down because I never saw a flag either.
I think one maybe came in from behind or in the middle of the Jacksonville defense.
Yeah, maybe so.
I'm not really sure.
Well,
but
Coach
third
Holman,
down,
he didn't agree with it.
Third down, Howard going to flip this one over to Coleman. And a pretty good pickup there. It's going to bring up 4th and 1 for Henderson.
Yeah. Good tackle by Harrison Penn right there. And Calvin Boyd. We got, looks like CJ, Chris Crockett is down right now. He's going to be short of the first down. It'll be 4th and 1, but they're going to check on Crockett as he's trying to get up. Oh, he's trying. Okay. Stay down. Just let the trainer look at you. All right, let's take a break.
So while they check on him, we'll step away. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Come see us at Dairy Queen on South Jackson before or after every Fightin' Indian game to try our family favorites meal. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good. Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been servicing the Texas market with the finest quality fuels and lubricants. Each batch is crafted with precision and quality tested by our in-house lab. Whether you're on the road, on the farm, or on the job, we have the right product for your needs.
Passing the competition by leaps and bounds. The team of world-class specialists at Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute are experts in caring for bones, joints, and muscles. In addition to treatment, they also provide special programs designed to keep you in optimal shape and improve athletic performance. So whether you're a student athlete or a weekend warrior, they'll keep you at the top of your game. Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, taking orthopedic care a step further.
Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better. Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
I'm Matt Montgomery. For over 40 years, my business has helped people manage their money and organize their financial life. I'm a registered investment advisor with the state of Texas and chartered financial consultant. Whether you need portfolio management or comprehensive financial planning, I can help you. Call me for a free consultation. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
Gene Bromlow, class of 66, and his daughter Ann Farmer proudly support Jacksonville athletics. Come on over to the South Jackson Dairy Queen and get one of their world-famous blizzards. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Tonight's game statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy Gorham, CPA, the source for your accounting and income tax needs since 1984.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the second job well done, for the idea.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. 43 seconds, 4th and 1. C.J. Crockett able to get up, be helped off the field, so hopefully he is okay. He's been a big part of this Jacksonville defense.
Samadra Kincaid will come in for him.
Howard going to hand it off to the big man, Jordan Irvin. And that'll be good for a first down.
Good tackle by Dorsey. Some help from Penn. But it is a first down for Henderson. The Jacks 30 as we move toward the end of this third quarter. Clock turned back on. 25 seconds and counting. Henderson does have to snap the ball. No, they don't. They're about a second ahead of the clock, the game clock, so they could just let this run out.
Looks like they are content to just let this one run out and take it to the fourth quarter. So at the end of 3, Henderson leads Jacksonville 35-0. We'll step away as they swap ends. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Passing the competition by leaps and bounds. The team of world-class specialists at Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute are experts in caring for bones, joints, and muscles. In addition to treatment, they also provide special programs designed to keep you in optimal shape and improve athletic performance. So whether you're a student athlete or a weekend warrior, they'll keep you at the top of your game. Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, taking orthopedic care a step further.
Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. The start of the fourth quarter. Henderson has a 1st and 10 at the Jacksonville 30. Howard going to hand this one off. Big hit there from the running back. And Henderson going to get inside the Jacksonville 10.
Well, it's been a costly drive for Jacksonville defensively. They lost 2 starters to injury on this drive. They lost Chris Crockett and they lost Kel Curl. Both of them on the bench. They will not be returning. Curl looks like he's got something on his knee. He's got ice on it. And Curl still he's got something on his back, lower back, hip, something like that. 2 starters out on this one drive. This is a team that's thin already in Jacksonville, and they can't afford to lose many players when they start a ball game with 34 on the field.
2 left, 1 right for the Lions. Handoff goes to Bishop. Met at the line by Dorsey.
And Bishop just kind of lost his feet a little bit. I don't know what happened, but I guess he saw Jordan Dorsey standing there. And that'll make you lose your feet.
Yeah.
Dorsey makes the tackle.
Bring up 2nd and goal from the 10. Jaden Bishop and Jordan Irvin in the backfield with Howard. Howard fumbles, able to jump back on it.
Ty Lindsay causing the fumble there. Coming up, and they had a little jet sweep with Jordan Irvin, and Ty comes and blows that up. And fortunately for Henderson, they get the fumble recovery.
Loss on the play, though. They'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 14.
I'm expecting a pass here.
Yeah. Three receivers right, 1 left for the Lions. Bishop in the backfield with Howard and Henderson.
Timeout.
Going to call a timeout, and we will take it with them. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
We'd like to say thank you to tonight's team meal sponsor, Chick-fil-A. Thank you for your valued support of Jacksonville Athletics.
Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. 10:01 left in the 4th. 3rd and goal for Henderson coming out of the timeout from the Jacksonville 14-yard line. Jacksonville needs a big stop here on defense. 3 receivers left, 1 right for the Lions. Howard drops back, looking over.
Picked off, Mario!
Pretty good return there, too.
Wow. Fighting Indians with another turnover, their 3rd of the ball game. Mario Rodriguez, his first pick as a varsity player. Stepped right into the route, picked it off, and gets Jacksonville, thwarts the Henderson when they had it 1st and goal.
1st and 10, Fighting Indians from their own 15.
Yeah, you can see on the replay here just a really good reading the quarterback's eyes there from Mario Rodriguez. And Jacksonville's doing a really good job forcing turnovers tonight.
Yeah, they've got some turnovers. They've been able to get a couple of picks and a fumble.
Clater.
There it is right there. There it is
right
right
there. Looks down the sideline. He's got his man.
Dante
with a huge catch down the sideline. Good for an EAG Ford 1st down. And that was a beautiful throw from Trent Clater, finding Dante Simmons down the sideline.
Well, you know, back in the day, we called that a stop and go. I mean, he just kind of goes down about 7 yards, stops, looks back, and then he takes off. And nice job by Clater just floating it out there and just letting Simmons run under it.
And the offensive line there did a great job giving Clater a lot of time to kind of get a little pump fake in there and then give Simmons time to get open. So that'll bring up an EAG Ford 1st down, 1 receiver each way. Clater going to look down the left side again, this time for Zeke Whitaker.
Touchdown.
Zeke brings it in, and touchdown, Jacksonville.
34 yards on the score as Zeke runs the flag route, gets by the safety. Nice throw again by Trent Clater. Floats it out there, and Jacksonville on the board. Pretty good turnaround right there where Henderson had it first and goal, trying to go 42-0. And now Jacksonville stops him with the interception by Rodriguez. They turn it into a score. Here's KC to try to make it 35-7.
On for the extra point. Extra points brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee. This one is up and good. So 35-7 now the score. Jacksonville on the board. We'll take a short break and come right back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Gene Brumlow, class of 66, and his daughter Ann Farmer proudly support Jacksonville athletics. Come on over to the South Jackson Dairy Queen and get one of their world-famous blizzards. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Tonight's game statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy Gorham, CPA, the source for your accounting and income tax needs since 1984. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. Jacksonville on the board, 8:54 here left in the fourth.
34-yard touchdown pass from the sophomore Trent Clater to the senior Zeke Whitaker. Whitaker hauls it in for the score set up by, obviously, Mario Rodriguez gets the pick. Man, 2 plays later, Jacksonville is in the end zone.
KC going for the onside kick, very high bounce. Brendan Richards trying to keep it in bounds. Looks like they are going to say it went out of bounds before he touched it, trying to get it back in. So kick out of bounds.
I like that. Got to work on your onside kick.
Yeah, and that was a really good onside kick from KC. It just bounced a little too far.
Just got that one extra bounce that you don't want. If you could have got one more little hop there, it would have popped up, and Brandon Richards would have had his 6'3" frame up there to pick it off, but it wasn't enough. So Henderson will take over with 8:54 remaining, 35-7 with a lead. We have an illegal formation by the kicking team.
We'll add 5 yards to the end of the run.
What's the illegal formation? How do you have an illegal formation on a kickoff?
It looks kind of funky.
Mario was in motion.
Yeah, there was something about it that looked kind of off. I almost wasn't expecting KC to kick it, so I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look at it again, but I don't know. It looked a little odd.
But I've been watching them work on that all week. I mean, it's just the formation they're in, and the guy, I don't know. It's not offsides or anything. It's
they were
illegal.
supposed to add,
I've never seen a legal formation on a kickoff. That's the first time I've ever heard that. Unless it's a new rule I'm not familiar with, which is highly possible.
So they'll add 5 yards on to the end of the run. So 1st and 10 for the Lions from their own 49. Change at quarterback, number 9 now in for Henderson. Oh, big hit there from Benavidez.
Okay, that's it. That is the bone crusher hit of the
My
game.
goodness.
Mario Rodriguez.
That was Elijah Benavidez, Matt.
Oh, it was Elijah?
It was Elijah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
He went over there
Thanks
and
for clearing.
laid the hammer on number 9 for Henderson.
Wow.
Whoo, man.
He stopped in a hurry, didn't he? That defied gravity almost. Woo.
Big hit. Good completion here for Henderson.
Another big hit by Benavidez. Freeman with the catch.
Bring up 3rd and 8 for the Lions.
Michael Taylor.
8-10 and counting left in the 4th. Big third down play here for the Jacksonville defense.
Just keep playing. Keep playing. You got 8 minutes to go. Show yourself. This is what the Indian Maker was about last spring. Don't quit. Pick each other up. Don't look at the scoreboard.
3 receivers right, 1 left. Quarterback for Henderson going to take it himself up the middle. Bring up 4th and 4. Actually 4th and 3 after the spot.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Henderson go for it right here.
On 4th and 3, you're Jacksonville 45. You don't mind not getting it if you don't. They are going for it. No punt.
3 receivers left, 1 right for the Lions.
Maybe a little hard count action. Jacksonville held their water.
Throw out to the flat.
Man.
Still going.
Murphy.
Complete to Amari Murphy, and he'll pick up the first down.
Tell you what, Henderson, that's a pretty effective play. At least it has been tonight against Jacksonville. You just get the running back just start sprinting out, kind of like what Jacksonville does with Dede, and they just flip it out there to him. You got a couple of guys pulling from the offensive line and a wide receiver leading him downfield. First down, Henderson.
So 1st and 10 for the Lions from the Jacksonville 29. Man in motion is Coleman. He gets the pitch around the right side. Lots of room to run. Bounces off the tackle and in for the score. So Lamarian Coleman with a big run.
Wow. I mean, you got 2 guys between him and the goal line, and Coleman of Henderson just obliterates 2 Jacksonville defenders trying to make the tackle. I mean, it wasn't even a contest. I'm sorry. He's a physical runner, is Coleman.
He is.
He just ran over both of them. Then he spun off of the tackles and kind of backed into the end zone.
So Ivan Navarro in to attempt the extra point for Henderson. Extra points brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee. And this one from Navarro is up and good. So 42-7 now the score. Henderson leading Jacksonville. 6:03 here left in the 4th. We'll take a short break and come right back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the satisfaction of a job well done, for the ideas that change the world, for good times, for not so good times, for her future and hers and his, for serving our customers and connecting communities. We're here with you for good. Austin Bank, with you for good.
Welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. 6:03 left in the 4th. Henderson now leads 42-7. Eric Garza in to kick this one away for Henderson.
Well, Henderson scored 45 their first game against Athens. They got beat last week, but they scored 41. It's hard to lose sometimes when you score 41, but they did. Now they got 42, so they can score some points now.
They can. High pop
Dede.
Up to the right. Dede fields it, trying to find some room. Good return from Dede. Going to get out to about the Jacksonville 45.
That's where they'll set up 1st and 10.
Next week, back here to play the Athens Hornets. As I said a minute ago, Henderson beat Athens in the first game. I think that score was 45-28, I believe.
Something around that.
Something like that. I know they scored 45. I think Athens scored 28, which Jacksonville would have scored 28 tonight, but they left some in the first half on the table. Elijah Harris in it running back now, the senior.
Harris around the right side. Good pickup on first down.
I'm going to tell you, Elijah Harris is a senior, and he is a physical runner. We haven't seen him yet. That's his first varsity carry right there. But in the Palestine scrimmage, he ran tough. He had a great scrimmage. I'd like to see him get some of these reps right here
add that third running back in case, you're a thin team, you don't lose anybody, hopefully not. But it's nice to plug him in right here, picks up a first down.
So EAG Ford first down off the Elijah Harris carry. He's still in the backfield with Trent Clater. 2 receivers left. Clater takes the snap, going to hand this one off to Harris again, now around the left side, trying to find some yardage.
He's physical. I mean, Elijah will hit you in the mouth. Ran on the JV last year as a junior. He's getting some words of wisdom from Danny Ramsey right now, the OC. Picks up 3, second and 7. Couple of runs for Elijah, picks up 13 on the 2 carries.
.430 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Harris in the backfield with Clater, 1 receiver each way for the Indians. Clater takes the snap, going to hand this one off to Harris again around the left side. Physical run by Harris. No gain on the play.
Man, there's just nowhere to go. I mean, Henderson's just sliding off the blocks, and Jacksonville's just been unable to lock up. And, I was never an offensive lineman. And, it's got to be hard when you have speed like that on the defensive front to get a guy without holding him, but to be able to move your feet with him and his speed, because that's what Henderson's been doing all night long, is just, as I said, getting off the block and just making a dead sprint to the running backs of Jacksonville. So Dede checks back in at running back for the Fighting Indians.
3rd and 7 for Jacksonville. 2 receivers right, Dede in the backfield. Handoff goes to Dede. Around the left side, has some room. Good pickup for another EAG Ford first down for Dede Mares.
Boy, nice cut right there. Trap block by Jacksonville on the offensive line, and he goes right off of that around the edge. He looks like he's going to go to the right, plants his foot down, and swings around to the left side off that block. Misdirection, if you will. So Dede with another EAG Ford first down pushes it to the 31 of Henderson.
Dede in the backfield with Clater, 2 receivers right for Jacksonville. Clater going to hand this one off to Dede, immediately met in the backfield, slung down for a loss.
Isaiah Vasquez, he didn't really tackle Dede. He just kind of shoved him down.
Yeah, he just kind of threw him down.
Yeah, he just kind of pushed his left hand and said, "You're going down." Boom.
So loss of 5 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 15.
Vasquez was untouched on that far side. Untouched. I'm not saying an offensive. I mean, he's just maybe just getting around the blocks, but not one hand laid on him. He comes around the edge and shoves Dede down.
2:06 and counting. 2nd and 15 for the Indians. Mosley, the man in motion. Flag comes in.
Yeah, they get Javian Sanders for motion right there. Procedure, I should say. False start. Kind of twitched a little bit.
5 yards. Still 2nd down.
Following the 5-yard penalty brings up 2nd down 20.
Penalties. I don't know how many procedure penalties Jacksonville's had tonight.
It's been a lot.
It's got to be at least 6 or 7. Those are just killers.
Dede in the backfield with Clater. Clater going to look to his left, finds his man, Dante Simmons.
Gets back some. Good
on
throw.
The reception, going to pick up about 6.
That's a tougher throw than what it looks like. Throwing that tunnel screen like that, you got to lead the guy just right as he gets up in that tunnel, as they call it. And nicely done by Trent Clater, letting the defense come to him before he flips it out there. 3rd down 14 is, again, the closing speed of Henderson. When it looks like Jacksonville has a big play, man, they just close it down.
1 receiver each way for Jacksonville. Clater going to hand this one off to Dede. Dede trying to get around the right side, finds a hole, going to be brought down. Helmet comes off for Dede.
Goes to number 2, Dede Mares.
Searles will check in for Dede. And
got 31 seconds remaining.
Yeah. So it's 4th down. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, 4th and about.
They've changed the down marker on the far side to first. But, it should be 4th and 7, I think.
Yeah. Well, Jacksonville, I'm not sure they're going to run a play here.
I'm not sure they are either.
Well, here they go. Hey, take a shot in the end zone. Let's go. Snap it. Snap it. Come on. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Take a shot.
Clater drops back, looking to his left. High ball thrown. We're going to have a hold on the Henderson defense. Dante Simmons was basically tied up, wrapped up while he was trying to break in his route.
Well, the game can't end on a defensive penalty, but let's see. Roger Jackson was going to get another play, but, yeah, clearly Dante got held or it was going to be a touchdown. Great throw by Clater.
On the defense, number 16. 15 yards from the previous spot.
So that'll give Jacksonville an automatic first down, and this will be the final play of the ball game.
Yep, an untimed play. Train number 4. Not that I'm counting.
We've had a lot of trains tonight.
Yeah. I count them every game. Usually there's 3. This is number 4. Last play of the game.
Searles in the backfield with Trent Clater. 2 receivers left. Clater drops back, now rolling to his left, trying to find somebody, wrapped up and sacked. And that will do it. Henderson gets the win against Jacksonville 42-7.
Well, not pretty. A lot to work on. Sadly, you lost a couple of players to injuries tonight. We'll have to check on that and see how to get those young men back. But we talk about Jacksonville not being able to lose too many players, man. They started the year with 35 on the varsity. There's 3 down so far. They will get back Jordan McGowan at some point. He thought he might have been ready tonight, but maybe next week. So fans just need to hang in there with this team because Jacksonville has shown some things they can do better. They've done better, and then the last couple of years.
Well,
they just got to cut out the mistakes.
I don't know that the scoreboard is reflective of necessarily how the game went. Jacksonville had a number of opportunities to score. They just couldn't convert tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Guys, let's hand out some awards. Obviously, the Dar Chiropractic Bone Crusher hit of the game goes to Elijah Benavides. Sponsored by Dar Chiropractic. If your body needs an adjustment, call Dr. Darwin Dar. He is your hometown chiropractor and also a pretty good linebacker back in the day for Jacksonville was Darwin Dar. Big hit by Elijah.
A big hit.
Yep. Your offensive and defensive players of the game, guys, this is tough. I may need some help on this. Now, for the defensive player of the game, I may need to go. I think I'm going to go with Mario Rodriguez. I think he had some good tackles coming in there in the second half, had the interception, did a nice job. But it feels like I need to code that with somebody. But when the score is 42-7, it's kind of hard to find that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go with Mario. Offensive player of the game, I didn't have any stats at the half. I wasn't sure who had what.
Searles was the leading rusher, but, I mean, I think you could go Zeke Whitaker tonight. He had a couple big catches, including the touchdown.
Yeah, let's go with Zeke. Zeke Whitaker, your offensive player of the game. Your offensive and defensive players of the game are brought to you by Austin Bank, your community bank, locally owned and operated since 1900. Austin Bank, appreciate them sponsoring our offensive and defensive players of the game each week. Offensive player this week, Zeke Whitaker, the senior receiver and safety. And your defensive player of the game, Mario Rodriguez, the junior linebacker. Head coach Jason Holman now addressing his team. We'll get his comments on the All Smiles post-game interview here in just a moment. So I never asked you guys about statistics, if Todd worked all that out.
I think
the honest answer is no.
Okay.
It was a struggle all night long. I have stats, yes.
Oh, you do?
So if we want to run through them real quick while we're waiting on Coach.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go through it.
Passing tonight, Clater, 8 completions on 15 attempts for 161 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception.
That's pretty good. Not bad.
Rushing, Searles finished with 12 carries for 72 yards. Dede had 15 carries for 29 yards, and Elijah Harris had 3 carries for 13. Receiving, the leading receiver was Elijah Whitaker, 2 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. Dante Simmons, 2 catches for 52 yards. Searles, 1 for 24, and Josh Gaskins, 2 for 23 yards. Punting tonight, Cardenas had 3 punts for an average of 29 yards with a long of 37.
Yeah, we saw a couple low punts from KC tonight. Not exactly what we've seen from in the past couple games, but I mean, when you've got a snap that goes over your head,
2 bad snaps,
yeah,
it's
tough to get that out of your head.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they can get that corrected. I mean, Toby Simpson's done a fantastic job snapping the ball. He had a couple kind of errant snaps for him from what we've seen through the first couple games, and it happens. It's just one of those things. It's a high school long snapper, so they're hard to find. And so far, he's done a really good job. But yeah, I'm sure that was something that KC was thinking about after the first one, and then especially the one that went over his head, and they were able to get the touchdown off of.
I think that's the first time he'd gotten hit when they knocked him off the ball in the end zone.
Probably.
A little different than on the soccer field.
Oh, yeah. Do you have some stats for Henderson as well?
Henderson quarterback Vince Howard had 11 completions on 17 attempts for 220 yards. Coleman had 4 catches for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. Amari Murphy had 3 catches for 62. Mason Jones, 1 reception for 24 yards. Starling, 1 catch for 6. And Coy Freeman, 2 catches for 3 yards.
Yeah, Jacksonville has played well defensively. They still got some stuff to work on defending the pass. We've seen that through the first couple games. Especially, center, it was very apparent. Tonight, a lot of the yards receiving were balls that were thrown, horizontally out into the flat, and the receivers are just picking up a lot of yardage off of those plays. And I think the big thing defensively for Jacksonville tonight was interceptions. We saw several opportunities last week to get some interceptions, and we weren't able to come up with them, and we had 2 tonight.
2, yeah. 2 picks, Brendan Richards and Mario.
So I thought that was big. I also thought after Mario's pick, we then marched down the field and had some big passing plays in there, and were able to go in, and Zeke was able to catch a big pass and go in for the touchdown. I thought that was very positive to convert after the turnover, because the turnovers are big, but if you can then capitalize on them and get some points out of them, I think that's huge.
It is huge. Just some scores. Athens beat Palestine. Well, there's a few minutes to go in the ball game. 35-7 Athens over Palestine. Athens coming in here next week, and then in a couple of weeks, the first district ball game, Nacogdoches, is coming in. They are beating Livingston 34-16 late in the 4th. So that's a couple of Jacksonville's upcoming opponents. Is Coach Holman still, I'm not going to call this a tongue lashing. It's a positive talk. It's just he really wants to say some things to his football team to get some points across. And all eyes are up. That's a good sign. You don't see any guys with their heads down.
I think that'll do it for our post-game stats, Matt.
Yep.
Special thanks to Randy Gorham for sponsoring all our statistics here on JISD Live.
Why don't we take a break and come back, and maybe we'll take it till you see Coach Holman coming over to me. Let's get some breaks in.
All right.
Sounds
we'll
good.
step away for just a moment. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
We'd like to say thank you to tonight's team meal sponsor, Chick-fil-A. Thank you for your valued support of Jacksonville Athletics.
Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741. Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been servicing the Texas market with the finest quality fuels and lubricants. Each batch is crafted with precision and quality tested by our in-house lab. Whether you're on the road, on the farm, or on the job, we have the right product for your needs.
The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich is delicious. It's got that barbecue flavor, the cheese melts on top with that Texas toast. You look at it, your mouth starts watering. It's my go-to sandwich. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, that's my all-time favorite.
I'm Matt Montgomery. For over 40 years, my business has helped people manage their money and organize their financial life. I'm a registered investment advisor with the state of Texas and chartered financial consultant. Whether you need portfolio management or comprehensive financial planning, I can help you. Call me for a free consultation.
Gene Bromlow, class of 66, and his daughter Ann Farmer proudly support Jacksonville Athletics. Come on over to the South Jackson Dairy Queen and get one of their world-famous blizzards. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Tonight's game statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy Gorham, CPA, the source for your accounting and income tax needs since 1984. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the satisfaction of a job well done, for the ideas that change the world, for good times, for not so good times, for her future and hers and his, for serving our customers and connecting communities. We're here with you for good. Austin Bank, with you for good.
All right, welcome back to the historic Tomato Bowl. Matt, I'm going to throw it down to you.
Coach, you had a long talk with your team right there, longer than usual. This is a physical ball game, lost a couple players to injuries. Your overall impressions of the game?
Well, that's what I told them right there. We, and it's our fault as coaches as well as it is players, but we failed at the routine tonight. And you go up against a good caliber football team and you fail at the routine stuff, you can't take a snap, or we get, false start penalties, or we can't make routine plays in the secondary or tackle, then you're not giving yourself a fair shake. And my message to them was they're a far, far better team. And if we can eliminate the routine mistakes, we ought to be able to play with a team like that.
Coach, you've been in this game a long time, and so when you get 3 opportunities to score in the first half, what does that do to your team's psyche when you don't get the points after working so hard to get down there?
Yeah, well, yes, that's an issue, but you also can't give up fast touchdowns.
Yeah.
And it was reflective of all sides of the football, so we're certainly not going to blame the offense on that. We've got to learn to convert down there, no question, to have chances to win. But everybody's got to do their part. And, when things go bad, what we've got to learn to do, you got to go back to base teachings. You got to go back all the way to the summer, the little things you were taught with your steps, with your stance, with your eyes. And we didn't do that tonight. The game was too big for us, and, things snowballed. So.
Well, at the end of the game, I will say one thing, and this was true of the center game. You didn't quit. The kids kept playing. They got the score, trying to score again right there. That's what's different about this team. I hope people notice that.
Well, no, we didn't quit. We're not. The effort was there. It wasn't all executed the way it needed to be, but yeah, man, it's just you can't take one step forward and two steps back, and we did it all night long in every phase of the game.
Coach, you got to get healthy. I mean, it's tough. It's physical, and that was a physical football team tonight in Henderson, and you knew that coming in. Just getting guys healed up, that's going to be the key too.
And that's part of it too. I mean, it's a football team that's made up of starters and backups and third-teamers and all across the board, and injuries happen. And the whole reason why you practice is because of those opportunities that you get when it's your time to go. You got to be locked in. You got to be paying attention. Even when you're not out there getting the actual reps, you got to be learning. And we're going to have some kids to step up now.
Next week, Athens comes in. They beat Palestine tonight 35-7. So it's a good football team in Athens as well, coming in for your last non-district game, and then Nacogdoches the next week for district. So you got one more tune-up.
Yeah. Well, I'm just anxious to see this football team when we are, executing and we're handling the routine stuff. And I think what you'll see if we can get that accomplished is you'll see a competitive team that has a chance against good teams like we just played.
Coach, appreciate it. Thank you. Head coach Jason Holman on the All Smiles postgame interview. Guys, back to you in the booth.
All right. Thank you, Matt. And that'll just about do it here from the historic Tomato Bowl. Jacksonville not able to come away with the win tonight against Henderson. And next week they welcome Athens into the historic Tomato Bowl. So hopefully we can see a little better execution, not quite so many penalties from this Jacksonville team. But that's going to do it from the historic Tomato Bowl tonight. On behalf of Todd Travis, Matt Montgomery, Lee Traylor, and the students of the JHS media team, I'm Ryan Travis saying thank you for joining us tonight here on JISD Live for all the action from the historic Tomato Bowl. We'll see you next Friday